Let your celebration begin with Park Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion or bride. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Park Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. until 6.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Closing Argument today. Today is going to be a very, very big show. We're going to be, you see me wearing my t-shirt. We're going to be wearing it in memory of one of our friends, that Melissa Yap, that passed last year. Today's her birthday. So we're going to be wearing in memory of her today. So I'm wearing a t-shirt. But we'd like to welcome you, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking forward to a very fabulous and interesting program today. There's a lot of news going on around. A lot of news. So we are going to bring it to you today. The Sarah Beslow Yenti confirmation. Man, it was an action-packed today. So we'd like to welcome you, my brothers and sisters, to the Closing Argument. Let me take some time and just recognize some names quickly, if I can do it before we start the show, because you guys make the show. Without you, we're not going to have a show. So we want to make sure that we recognize all of you guys, because it's because of you that we are here, and you are giving us the support by joining in. So let me ask you to just go ahead, click share the show, click the share button, just share it so folks can view it. I know if folks go to Closing Argument Live, they will also see this, see us. They will also on YouTube. So just click and share. But let me recognize some of you guys that are watching today. We got for, I hope I'm pronouncing it, Sia Pewe. I hope you guys got it there. Samaria Pratt is also watching. She said, "I'm the first to take a seat. Welcome, girl. Good to see you." Asata Dawson, Miss Dawson, I believe we saw you the other day. I'm not sure we did see the other day, Miss Dawson, watching from Maryland. Good to see you, Asata. Good to see you. And then we got Alvin D. Charles. We are following all the way from Minnesota. Welcome, my brother. Welcome. Veronica Weather. Welcome, Miss Weather. Veronica. It's so good to see you. So good to see you. Joseph M. Jackson. It's a hell of my family. Welcome, my brother Joseph. It's good to see you as well. Yomitro Kringa is watching as well. Brother Kringa, good to see you. Brother Charles Brown. Say good afternoon, folks. Good to see you, Charles. Good to see you, Charles. Better Stewart. It's Bertha Stewart. Good to see you. Good to see you. Joseph M. Jackson watching from California, U.S. He said, "Hi, Keff Hassan. Keff will be on shortly," and the rest of the guy. Hey, Bertha, what's up? Dear sister Winifred Smith. Welcome, Winifred. Good to see you. Good to see you. Andrew Cully, watching from Dupo Road, Zubatan. Hey, bro. Good to see you, Andrew. Godwin Cooper, watching from Germany. Hey, man, I'm coming there in July for the July 26th. I'll be in Germany, so hope to see you, my friend. Kanu Manu Sani, Sama Follett. Okay, Mr. Follett. Good to see you. I hope. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right. Forgive me. It's not intentional. Watching from Penze, Andy Robert. Watching from Istanbul, Turkey. Oh, bro. Good to see you. Aliyu Kamar. Good to see you, Aliyu. Good to see you. Micah Godwin Johnson from Penze, and I want to only James Coyote. James Coyote. It is so good to see everybody, folks. Yes, good to see you. Miss Kringa, I'm so sorry. Yemichek, I'm so sorry. Miss Kringa, but it's good to see you, Miss Kringa. And New Nah, that bad. Ellen Vincent. Good to see you. Ella Vincent. Good to see you, dear. Peter Scott Diakba. Dapa. Uh, Yogurtown River says, "Ooh, I believe I drove over there before. I drove through Yogurtown, going into Sesto City. I hope I'm right. I was doing some project there in Sesto City a couple of years ago. I think we built a hand pump there, and I was in Sesto City. But bro, thank you for all the way Sesto City, man. That's a great, great. And I want to thank all of you for watching the show, bro. Look, you guys make our show. You guys make our day. You know, Josiah Masale, watching from Painesville District Number 5. You know, look, y'all make the day. With all you guys, we can have a closing argument. You guys are the one that make it happen. Ja James, hello, Ja James. But let me welcome St. Tomalin George on Monday. Celia Sony, watching from Tuckerburg City. Mayor Fagon, yeah. Oh, wow, Mayor Fagon. Fagon's a mayor now, bro. I hope he get that mayor job, man. You're trying to give it to Fagon. I hope he gets it. Edmund Wilson Sr. Hey, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Everybody, man. Tomalin, welcome, my brother. Welcome to the Closing Argument today.
Yes, welcome. It's good to be on the show today. And today, for some of us, it's a solemn day for us. Today should have been our little sister, our friend, one of our ardent follower, Melissa Yap. Today would have been her 21st birthday. We lost Melissa. I was talking to her mom. Her mom is telling me that Melissa waited for this day. She was looking forward to her 21st birthday. She really had prayed. She was willing to be alive for her 21st birthday. And she was really looking. She talked about her 21st birthday a lot. And as we all know, we lost Melissa last year. And today, her mother, Miss Lisa Greaves, her aunt, Pam Taylor, Pam Belcher Taylor, uh, her aunt, Mrs. Gibson, Imadi Gibson, her brothers, and all her family members are all having this solemn day today on thinking about her. Peabody is good. You wore her T-shirt. I couldn't even find my own Melissa T-shirt. You know, we went to see Melissa prior to her passing the year before. We spent a whole day with her in Virginia, and Melissa, one of our favorites. She loved our show, and she from Spoon. We were at Spoon. She started from Spoon. Then we came to Closing Argument. She was always with us. A few weeks ago, I saw her. I think her mom was using her account, and I saw Melissa watching, and I had a touch on me, you know, when I saw Melissa watching, and I knew her mom was using her account. Yeah, here's a picture. Her brother, her mom is there, Dr. Peabody, Mong Mamadou Massacre, Ben Sanvee, Imadi Gibson, Keff Hassan, Pam Belcher Taylor, Stanton Witherspoon, and Melissa there. We want to see Melissa prior to her passing, and had a nice time with her that day. We had lunch together. We ate, have fun. Not knowing would have been our last time seeing Melissa. And Melissa she was talking about her 21st birthday today, February 5th. Looking forward to celebrate this day, but the Lord had its own way and took her away from us. Her ashes was put in the water in Florida last year by her mom, her aunt, and her brother. So today we say, Melissa Greaves, I know how you feel today. You are down. Just your aunt, Pam Belcher Taylor, Imadi Gibson, and all those, her brother, all her entire family. The Closing Argument. When the guys come, we'll all talk about her. A few minutes about Melissa. I want to say happy heavenly birthday, Melissa. And I know you're looking down on us today and thinking about your Closing Argument crew. But we say our thoughts and prayers with your parents and all your family members. And we pray that soul continue to rest in peace. Dr. Peabody, what's your thoughts about Melissa?
Well, you know, when you see Melissa, you know that she's a darling. She's a darling when you see her. Not only she's smart, intelligent, and loving, but Melissa has a way to connect with people. She has a way that when she connects with you, it's as if she has known you for 2 or 3 years, or you know her for a very long time. She's a very, very humorous person. She loves people. She's involved, smart. She reads, and she does her homework before she meets you. And the opportunity we have to share with her was just priceless. She was loving. I mean, we saw her, and I remember just seeing her and like, Melissa is not going to die anytime soon, because she had so much courage. She had so much hope. Her spirit was just so strong. I mean, she was just out there in spite of everything she was going through. She was happy, loving, connecting, talking, and midlife happened. And we are just so, we miss her. We had the opportunity last year to share at her homegoing, and just a wonderful service. And I know what the parents are going through today, but we in the religious word, in the Christian word, we said that she's in heaven, she's resting, and when one dies, they will go to heaven and be with the Lord, So I believe that she's resting, and we have this old song that we sang a long time ago. Soon and very soon we're going to meet the King, and then part of the song go on to say, "No more sickness there, no more dying there, and no more pain will be there." Because she's going to be the King. So, Melissa was just the darling, that we met, the little sister we met, but we just didn't spend a lot of time. But the one day we spent together, it was like a whole year that we spent together. So my thoughts and best wishes are with the family at this time.
Yes, today will be. I mean, as we go through the program, we always mention her today throughout. I know Ben will say something when he comes on the show. Kev will talk about her too. But today is a special day for us. It's a very solemn day for us. When she passed, the entire crew attended her funeral. Peabody, Ben Sanvee, Keff Hassan. We all attended her funeral in Virginia, and it was a very solemn day. And Peabody paid a tribute on behalf of our group. And the song you just mentioned, yeah, soon and very soon. Peabody, that's a song that, yes. Um, um, Soon and very soon. No more pain, no more. Melissa left us. She was in pain. She left us, but her memories will still be around. When her short time she spent on Earth, she touched many lives. She was so friendly. She got friends with everybody. She. But we just want to say we are thinking about her today on her birthday, and we're praying for her family, with her family, and we pray that her soul continue to rest in peace. So throughout the day, when we're talking, we'll always mention her. So we'll go on with the program, but we'll always think about her today. And I'm sure when other guys come in, they will say something about her, but we miss her a lot. If she was alive now, she'll be watching this show today. She'll in fact, even ask her if she would like to come on the program today. She all wanted to be a panelist on our show too. And as I said, the other guys, Ben, yeah, Ben's in her t-shirt. And we got to know Melissa through Ben. So Ben, the one that introduced her to us, and he told us that Melissa was an ardent follower of our show on Spoon. And in fact, Melissa, she used to defend Kev. She said on Spoon we used to give Kev hard time. So she said everybody attacking Kev. So she just, she always defend Kev, but she was very loving and caring. We want to say this, Ben. Today is Melissa's 21st birthday.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And it's a great day. I think like you rightly said, Melissa is, she's, it's tough, right? But it's one of those things where you want to be grateful for the life that she lived. Though you're very, very young, and she, left us very, very young. I mean, she was a young lady with so much potential. One thing I know is that she was a fighter, right? There were so many days and times where she was supposed, it was almost like she was supposed to, she was supposed to have given up. Doctors will give a specific prescription, they will give a specific timeline, and then she was always beating the odds. And so one of the things that I am grateful for about her was the spirit that she had, Tony, right? She was a fighter. She never wanted anyone to pity her. She never wanted anybody to tell her she couldn't do something or she couldn't accomplish something or that the cancer was winning. She was always in the spirit of conquering this. She always knew that no matter, and I think even with her being gone, right? It's a testament to the spirit that she had, the fighting spirit that she had, and I'm just grateful that I knew her. We were a family. I'm grateful that we came across her. We all crossed paths with her. She and her, her Spoon Talk. When we were on there, I think you guys showed the picture. I mean, just a strong-willed young woman who knew what she wanted. Who, just like I said, unfortunately, her life got cut very, very short. And I am grateful for her parents. Her mom, Lisa, is someone who is a strong believer also and took care of her, right? Her dad, Mr. Yap, her sisters, I think her brothers, I mean, just her whole family, right? She brought a lot of light and life to her family. My only thing now is, her legacy living on. And I think that's what her parents are continuing to do, giving awareness to this, to this cancer. She had a rare form of cancer, right? And so at the end of the day, that's one of the reasons why we are grateful today. But Melly, we know you're watching. She and her closing argument in politics, right? I think you rightly said it, right, Dominic? She said she was going to be our one of our panelists. So we know she's watching, and she know. I don't think Melissa will want us to even. This is not a sad day. That's not the kind of person she is, right? So I think today is more of a celebration of her life, and that's the reason why we're wearing the T-shirt, and we're gonna just continue to make that commitment in her memory to helping others out there, being of service to each other. But Melly, we miss you. Thank you for all of what you did to touch our lives. You made us better. And and my love goes out to Sis Lisa and Mr. Yap and the rest of the family. I know today is probably a difficult day, but know that Melissa is very proud of all of you and her service. Peabody, I mean, was such a beautiful service. In fact, Peabody spoke on behalf of us at that service. We couldn't even collect our words, but Peabody spoke on behalf of us.
So you know how to handle this kind of
Yeah. Peabody gave a very moving speech
moving tribute.
for us that day. And I'm sure she was smiling. So Melly, we love you, we miss you, and we're here. We're holding the fort. The election just ended. I know she was probably going to be, but we keep it going. We keep it going.
Yeah, but for in memory of Melissa, all four of us will co-host the show today. We'll all be co-hosting the show, not one person. So all will be on the co-hosting the show today for Melissa. Yeah, all of us, see all of us co-hosting the show. So we all going to play our part today on this show. So let's get it going, man. We'll keep Melissa in our thoughts and prayers while in our memory while the show is on. But all of us who co-host the show, guys, and so let us get it going. Today is day 14 of President Boyga's presidency, and we'll see what's happening in the country. He making his appointments, his nomination today. A foreign minister designate, Madam Cyril Beslo Yanti, had a confirmation hearing today, and I believe I'm confident she will be confirmed by the Senate, maybe overwhelmingly. despite all what transpired, she was very resilient. She came through it, and I'm happy that she heard her turf today well, and she performed very well in my estimation. Performed very well. She was very brilliant. Our confirmation. She was eloquent. She many Liberians who didn't know her got to fall in love with her after her confirmation hearing today. I will see the comments. So I believe she will be confirmed by the Senate, and as we also wait for the others to be nominated, our friends, our friends. But guys, so far, as we say, we're hosting the show, guys. So let us jump into it. Ben, Peabody, let us get involved. Today was the confirmation of the foreign minister. If she is confirmed, she'll be the foreign minister and dean of the cabinet, head of the president's cabinet. So she'll be speaking on behalf of the cabinet, and she'll always be leading the cabinet and so forth.
You know what I enjoyed today, Tomalin? And people, I don't know if you noticed this, but testament of what we do as Liberians, right?
I tell you, we fly, unbelievable.
We are so fast to form opinions of people,
Exactly.
to beat them up, to lay them bare on the cross and crucify them. And then after we crucify them, we look at them and we're like, oh, yeah, we didn't even know. Well, listen, let's be frank. Sarah Besso-Yanti, the questions that people had, legitimate questions. She wants to be foreign minister. She wants to get in the public line. When you put yourself up to public service, you lose your anonymity, you lose your privacy, you lose, you lose literally everything, right? And you put yourself out there, and so you become fair game. It is fair game for you. What I think is unacceptable is this thing we do in Liberia, where we just, like I said, we just crucify people. We even get to hear a word out of their mouth. We form our opinions. We live in our worlds. We create our own reality. And because this person, at the end of the day, may not or did not share any alignment or any relationship with us, we go out there and we publicly lynch them. And so I was reading the comments today under the live as Sarah was speaking. First of all, I wasn't surprised. I know her. You know, Tomalin, I've been one of the very few, even from when we were on Spoon, I always used to say, I said, anybody who's president of Liberia, you will want to call the UN. I remember when Ellen became president, she reached out to the IMF and the World Bank and asked for Antoinette Saye. She reached out to certain, international, bring people to come to help. And I always said that if you're president of Liberia, you want to make Sarah Beslow your minister of foreign affairs. I thought she would have been a great foreign minister. In fact, when President Weah won in 2017, the former vice president, Joa Taylor, I remember, was pushing for Sarah to serve in the Weah cabinet, either as gender minister or foreign minister. I remember one of the conversations they were having, but it didn't happen. But I say this to say that a lot of people did not know her, right? And again, I'm not discounting the concerns people had about her academic journey. She took a very unconventional path to get to gaining her education. But you heard her story today. Many Liberians did not even know Sarah Besso-Yanti is a cancer survivor. Many Liberians did not even know that. But I was proud today. And the reason I was proud, not because she's perfect. And like I said on the show the last time, she does have the responsibility to answer the questions that she will be asked regarding this educational thing. But I believe that the country will be well off with her as foreign minister. I do believe that. I think she represents strong will, and our people should give her the opportunity. Listen, I think you saw what she did today. I mean, you saw the Senate. I'll be surprised if she doesn't get the nod.
Yes, Peabody, I know.
I followed the confirmation hearing, and I think Sarah did herself a great job today by her introduction, how she talked about herself, the struggle that she had moving to the U.S., did not have any document to work or to go to school. She talked about how she was finally able to get the temporary protected status, how she grown herself to work as a nurse, a medical assistant, how she worked with a doctor, and the doctor taught her a lot of stuff to do, and she was able to do it and to get herself out there and then work her way through the United Nations system and all of that. I think that testimony was so appealing. I think she did it in a way that, I mean, it was so encouraging, so comforting that even the senators who were asking questions all fell. I think she did an excellent job. I think she actually saw herself today. Who is this Sarah Yanti Bessler? Who is this person? People want to know who she is. People want to know what kind of Sarah Yanti she is and what she's doing and blah blah blah. But she came in today. Look, if you had some doubt, boy, she will play out because she played that mother role, she played that civil servant role, she played that diplomatic role, and she played that that patriot role today. So I mean, Sarah came up and look, no doubt, I think she should be confirmed. I think she's an excellent candidate for the job. I think she would do Liberia very well. I think she deserved it, and I think it was great. I mean, it was just great on her part. No comment. She was just great today. Yeah.
Lofa, you got your thoughts on the confirmation?
Yeah. I mean, good evening, guys. Great to be on here again today. Yeah, I followed the confirmation, and just like we just like we often say on here, um, we were cautioning people to wait and hear for themselves. The concern about her, academic credentials, it's not a bad thing that people were concerned about that if they had concerns about it. But again, instead of, just trying to downplay her because, like Ben rightfully said, because of political alignment or anything of that nature, I don't think it was right. But today, her hearing, I'm pretty sure a lot of Liberians who were in doubt today will rethink it, okay, and they will have a second opinion. If not, then I don't know where we are headed to because I think it was a great, output from her, telling her story, and the experience that she brought to, or that she brought along. But what really got my attention is a statement that she made. She said, I'm not coming to this job because I want money. She said, I want to serve. Okay. If someone is willing to take almost 300,000 or some more, okay, uh, cut, then that tells you the level of sacrifice that she's looking to make. And being who she is, that actually got to me, and especially having to have heard her mention that again, she's a cancer survivor, but she was very resilient, and that tells me that it's a whole lot. At the same time, we are not sitting here to say people should not be concerned about people's academic credentials, or we should support people who are, in the act of being fraudulent with their academic credential. But I think, from all indication, everything I heard, she did nothing wrong, and I'm glad that they consider her, and I hope that she be confirmed.
Yes, like Ben said, like, I mean, for me, I think I've known Sarah the longest than everybody. I know her very well from the Firestone era, and uh, she was one of the head of the National AIDS Control Program in Liberia. After the war, she headed the AIDS program in Liberia, the Ministry of Health.
Hmm.
She came to the States to go and join the UN service. So she's someone who I like. Ben, who started to when she started excelling in the ranks and file of the UN system, who always used to say that she will make a very good foreign minister of our country any day, one of these days. And my late dad always say, whatever for you in this life, you will see it before you leave this world. So I believe that it was a matter of time. Her day was coming, her moment was coming, and I thank the President Boyka in his wisdom for appointing her to be his first foreign minister to help us carry his foreign policy agenda. What struck me today when she was answering the question, she said about asked about liberal policy and foreign policy. She said it will all be geared toward economic and developmental politics. Foreign policy with that liberal will gain from it. Will benefit from it through economic and developmental context. So that's what she was mainly pushing for. She'll be pushing for. So we wish her the best. I know she will be confirmed. I believe, I'm confident she'll be confirmed from what I saw today. And I pray that she'll justify the confidence and trust reposing on President Boyka and so forth. So we just congratulate her for her brilliant performance today and look forward to hearing her tomorrow. She'll be officially confirmed, I'm sure. But Ben, I saw a release from the president's office. I don't know what the presidents usually sign press release. I saw it today. I was a little bit confused. Maybe you can explain to us. You work in the president's office before, so tell me how it works.
He said I worked in the president's office before.
Yeah, you guys presidential experience now. We get it.
Well, yeah, actually, I did see that, and I thought it was odd. By the way, I've never seen the president signing a press release. I mean, it did say press release on the top, right? So we're not making this up. Maybe we should put it up so people can see it. I don't know. Lofa, do you have it?
No, share it with me.
Maybe we should put it up so people get a chance to see it.
Lofa, put it up.
Yeah, because we're not making it up. But having said that, look, like I said, I don't know if presidents sign press release. It has the president's signature and it has the press secretary signature on there, naming these people, making this appointment. Now we wait to hear if it's legitimate. Listen, nowadays the people can fix anything in the World Trade Center and put it out.
Send it to Messenger.
No, but those names on app, these are people that are very close to the president, so I know.
Well, no. Tomalin, the thing. The reason I'm saying that is because we all got to give the benefit of the doubt.
I know.
And we got to say we got to always leave that room because they may come back and say, "Well, no, that was not that was not from the president's office, right?" So, but like you rightly said, I thought it was a little odd. I'm sending to your Lofa Julius, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, I just did. So okay. I thought it was a little odd because it does say press release on the top, and it says signed by Kula Fofana and approved by the president, which I find a little weird. The second thing that I also saw weird, and I was talking to you guys about it, is the letterhead, right? You see on the letterhead it says the president. That's the official letterhead of the presidency, which is the president. By the way, on this letterhead, no other signature is supposed to be there. So I'm not sure why Kula's signature is included on this, right? So there's just a lot of things. That's why I want to hold this thing with a string of salt, because I don't know if it's real or if it's fake. If it's real, right? There you go. This is it right there. So Lofa, like you see up in the top right left-hand corner, right, with a C.
Okay.
You see where it says the president?
Yep. Let me zoom in on here real quick.
Yeah. You see right where it says the president?
Yeah.
That's his letterhead. That's his letterhead. And the fact that I even got press release.
Right.
Right
there.
That's why I say I'm waiting to get some clarity. I don't know. It's just normally it looks a little weird. Now, the names that are listed in this thing, Tomalin, I mean, these appointments do seem to be in line exactly with where he may want to do this, right? But I don't know. Looking at this document for me, it raises some flag. Two things are happening here. That is the president's signature, by the way. The other thing is they're not even supposed to put president under his name. If it's on that letterhead that identifies the president, you're supposed to say Joseph Boakai Sr. That's it.
Senior.
Because it is giving that is coming from him, right? So I don't know. But maybe let's talk more about the names than the letter.
Well, no, Ben, we can't just talk about the names and forget these basic things, because these are some of the things that we held CDC down for. Remember, but anyway, I'll let the other guys come in first, because wow, the experienced team.
Yeah, I mean, because for me, Tomalin and Peabody, guys, for me, this is elementary, right? Some of the folks who are around President Boakai, I mean, they were in power before. They know these things, right? And these are the kind of things that cause a lot of pressure, a lot of problems when it comes to, with the presidency. But again, like I said, there's just something that doesn't look right here. Now, not regarding the appointments itself, like you said, Sir Johnny, Mr. Charles Netter, Ambassador George Wallace, and Mrs. Louise Tamba. These are all folks who are very close to the president, and I'm sure he's if he's appointing them in those roles, because it shows that it's clearly affecting only the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs. So they're all under the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs. But yeah, but the whole letter thing, the president signing a press release, I take it with a grain of salt, because I don't know, I say either two things: either he's concerned that people are putting out names that he's not approving, so he wants to approve every list that come out, so he signs it, which is also going to be very unprecedented, because when the president makes an appointment, a press release comes from the mansion, and they put it out on the news, guys, and it's read, and everybody trusts that it comes from the president's office. It comes from the mansion. I've never seen any time in Liberia's history where a president has signed a press release. I've never seen that.
I'll let the other guys weigh in, because I'm trying to find out more about this release. But go ahead, Peabody and Keff.
Because the press release should come from the press team. So if the president himself is signing press release, and maybe he wrote it himself and said, "Hey, I want it to be like this," or something like that. But it appears it doesn't appear to be too authentic. So I think we need to come out and talk more about it. Because the president still have a lot of appointment. I think this is just a appointment from railway in his office. I mean, I know that his office is very important, but I think they should have been dwelling more on the list of appointment that he still have to do, than rather coming out with this small list. So could that be true? Could that be lie? Maybe Kula can come out and authenticate that and say that is true.
Maybe Tommy, you should reach out to her. I mean, you have.
Yeah, I just reached out to her, but what she said, can't speak to it for now. What she just said me.
So you see that
So
that
that's true.
in itself doesn't, that in itself, it's a blunder. It's a total blunder.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's a blunder. Because if it was fixed, you would say right there that's fake.
Yeah.
It's probably a blunder. But we'll give them a pass. I mean, Keff, I don't care what I say. We'll give them a pass.
Yeah, but we saw the same thing under the CDC government. If the CDC was to come up with some list,
but we had never some press release. We gotta be fair.
No, what I'm saying is, even if there was some error,
I know, right?
Has to go over it and will be all over social media. And this kind of error they are making here, it really requires some. I mean, it was the perfect team that know it all and stuff like that. So I think it's very, very important that we really check this. And, come on. It's not a good start.
What do you say about it? What do you say, Kev?
Maybe our internal memo, Kev. Maybe.
I think so.
Press release, though.
Well, let me say hi to you guys. I guess you guys talking about the press release, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. He signed it, and I'm just listening to you that the Kula saying and she will get back to you or something without denying it. So I believe that it's authentic because it's all over. And the only thing I would say about this, we told you guys that the reason why they actually choosing Joe Buckeye is for him to sign on stuff that he don't read. You know how many of this kind of stuff that he would sign off on it? Because I believe that in JMB was the number 2 man in Liberia for 12 years. So he's cognizant to the protocol of how this thing happened. So he know exactly how he run. He know exactly what to do, and they promise us that they know exactly what they're gonna do. So, but I think they're taking advantage. Folks around the JMB taking advantage of. He's not up to date anymore. Because if JMB that spent 12 years as a VP know all those stuff, but I think they're taking advantage of his because he's not up to date. So they're gonna just run rings around him, and more of this stuff will come out. And that's all I can say about this stuff. But I don't think anybody should say, "Oh man, maybe it's a mistake or this." No, it's not a mistake. Kula very smart. She's very intelligent. They promise us the best of the best. By the way, his the guys around him being power for years. They are seasoned guys. They're not today guys. Well seasoned. So it's not a mistake. I think folks are taking the advantage because JMB is not up to date anymore.
Well, let's welcome the former Surgeon of Grand Bassa County, the Honorable John J. Backbear is watching from the Post of Buchanan. Welcome, Surgeon of Backbear. Good to see you. How's our Buchanan City? Well, it's good to see the former Surgeon watching the show. Professor Kennedy, welcome. You saw the press release that came out from the president's office today. I don't know what word to use. Whether it's the press secretary says she will get back to me on it because we can't speak to it right now. Yeah, so
Let's zoom in. Oh yeah, so we can see the full body.
Did I hear Keff correctly that he said the president doesn't read?
I said yeah, he's not up to date anymore. So he don't.
What do you mean he's not up to date? Can you explain what you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean what he's not up to date?
For a man who served for 12 years as a vice president, so he know everything. He know, and beside that, his surrounding are people who spend years. So if I'm doing a process of elimination here, I would say, hey, look, and a JMB, or he cognizant to what happening in the past 12 years. He had that sense. He know exactly number 2 man. He's the last man. We will say yes. So when you check all the boxes that JMB been there, he been in government for 50-something years. He know all those things. The only logical reason I can come up to this error is because he's not up to date anymore. Because he's a smart man. A smart man will not let it slide. He's very intelligent. He's a hands-on man. So when you look at these things, you will say, listen, guys, we all had very educated grandfathers. But you could tell that your grandfather is sleeping. You could tell, everybody could tell that they're not up to date anymore. And that's what's happening. It's not a bad thing. People don't like to say the truth. The truth. Listen, when Donald Trump called Nikki Haley, Nancy Pelosi, people say he's slipping. He's slipping. And that's very consistent with aging. It's not a bad thing. So he's not up to date anymore. So you're going to be seeing most of this stuff. JB is not it's a well-intelligent man. We'll give it. Let politics aside. He's well-intelligent. He's smart. He's been around. So when you see stuff like that and he's signing it, tells me he's not up to date. That's what I meant, Larry.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, you sharing your opinion, which is good. I'm sure the Unity Party with people will fully disagree with you, but all is well. So in fact, Ben, wear your glasses. Everybody here wearing glasses, my man.
I know, right? That is true. That is true.
Ben got good eyes.
Probably.
Ben got
It's one of a closing argument.
Ben got good eyes. So, but by the way, let me recognize the senator of Monserrate County. He's watching the show. Sir Joseph Joseph also watching.
Honorable Sir Joseph.
Welcome, Honorable. Welcome.
One of the most powerful senators in the Liberian Senate.
Yeah.
He won the highest vote in Liberian history. Over 300,000 votes.
And you're a very good friend of Tomalin.
Nobody have ever won that amount of vote before.
How many votes did he get?
400,000.
Broke record.
Well, there's only 300,000 registered voters, right?
Yes.
One of that. Yeah, one of that. In Monserrate. So,
well, today was an interesting day, Doc. It was a very interesting day. I'm glad the foreign minister nominee Sarah got out there and made her case, which was good. Put a lot of questions to bed right away. I like the fact that I always make this analogy, always trying to understand this whole thing about degree compared to experience. I always make this comparison about somebody with a Harvard degree in biology, and you have somebody living in a village who lived and worked in that village, who father lived and worked in that village, grandfather lived and worked in that village, and you have the person from Harvard, and you need to go through the forest. You're not going to take the person from Harvard compared to the person with the practical experience. I like the fact that she said, look, she had all of this experience and she decided to go back to school to get a degree, because we know over here in the States, people then like to focus on degree, even though you have the practical experience. So she's been around. She understands how this whole foreign diplomacy thing works. And she speaks extremely well. She speaks extremely well. And if you look at some of the people that are predecessors, I think she's going to take Liberia another notch when it comes to sitting with foreign dignitaries and having those high-level conversations. I like the fact that when I think it was the senator, what's his name, Johnny, I think from Bunk County.
Johnny Quay.
Yeah, he asked some very important questions, and at the end, he had to agree because he asked. And this is something that we discussed on this show, right? Because he asked about the conflict over in between Israel and Hamas. Now, bear in mind, on the one hand, you want to go with your gut feeling, saying, "Okay."
Well, that was James Bonnie.
Who?
It was James Bonnie.
Bonnie.
Yeah,
okay.
From Maryland,
Maryland.
I'm telling you, the questions he was asking.
Yeah, James Bonnie is he's an old foreign policy guru. In fact, he was the chair of that committee last Senate.
Oh, wow. Yeah. He was captivating because he knew exactly some of the main issues, the foreign policy issues that are impacting the prices of food in Liberia, the foreign policy issues that if you vote the wrong way at the United Nations can get you in trouble, the foreign policy issues that when you sit with foreign dignitaries, you say the wrong thing can get you in trouble. And he was asking those questions, who will you side with? We're asking for a ceasefire. The world is asking for a ceasefire. The U.S. is saying, no, we're not going to go for a ceasefire simply because Israel is saying no. And he asked her that question. And her response was, well, I think we have to go with what is best for Liberia and what is best for Africa. So I will go alongside what is best for Africa as a whole. Now, U.S. may not like that, but she gave an answer that was more nationalistic, more for Liberia's interest than for anybody else's interest. So it was good that she, she got those questions and she gives some eloquent responses, man. That's why, experience plays a major role when you're selecting someone in that sort of category. Who was her predecessor? Could her predecessor have stood some of these questions that they were fielding to her, asking about things that's going on between Ukraine and Russia, how that is impacting the price of agricultural products over to Liberia? Could her predecessor have withstand? Look, let me say this before I swing it back over to you guys. Back in 1999, if I remember correctly, Nelson Mandela was out there in Palestine. There's this two-state solution thing that's been going on. And he also asked her this question about two states. So Nelson Mandela said, one of the things we have to focus on is if you want peace in this region, you need to give the Palestinians their own state. You have to give the Palestinians their own state. Remember that Israel was formed back in 1949 at the end of the Second World War. That's when Israel, I think the state of Israel was formed in 1949. And since then, Israel has been in serious conflict with all of the countries in our region, Egypt, Syria, Lebanon, all of those countries in our region have been in. But this woman understood foreign policy and she was answering it. I don't know how many people understood it like that, but I'm telling you, man, put her in that position. She surrounded herself with some very good, competent people, and she will not embarrass Liberia, and she will be able to drive foreign direct investments to Liberia. That's what I give her credit for, man. She speaks extremely well, highly, highly professional, and she has that experience to back it. So, anybody who voted against her would be an absolute lunatic. So I can say that right now.
Yes, I mean, like I said, Sarah held her turf today, and look, and one thing she kept pushing when they tried to bring her to get involved in the politics of the international politics with America and China and Russia, she always say Liberia focus will be on economic and developmental benefits for Liberia. That means if anything, Liberia engaging her foreign partners, she'll be involved about what benefit Liberia will get from it. Like for Liberia economic and survival, and so forth. And I think that's Liberia is a small country. Like Ben was saying, he said, look, we don't really, our foreign policy it's not like America, other big countries like Nigeria, other countries. Then right now, Liberia gotta be careful. You can't put your mouth in the issue with what happening in Gaza.
Yep.
You gotta keep it because just play a low. And one thing I learned, I won't call his name, but foreign diplomat told me and my colleagues that when there's a vote, that vote is controversial. The best thing to do, don't show up.
Abstain. Yep.
Don't
show up.
Don't show up. Now, at least you won't be in no position to say, well, if you show up, you have to vote. Either you abstain or you vote yes or no. So
you see, sometimes, Dominic, sometimes these big countries do quote the court the smaller countries, right?
Yeah.
So you will find, even if you may want to abstain, right, the U.S. will reach out to Linda Thomas Greenfield, who is the ambassador there, right, will reach out to the Liberian ambassador, the Liberian permanent representative, right, and literally seek Monrovia support on this issue. We want Liberia support on this issue. That person will then have to reach out to Monrovia to get its blessing, right? To say, hey, we've been approached by the U.S. They really need our support. They need us to stand with us on this issue. Like you talked about James Barney, Professor Kennedy, which is a fact. James Barney is well versed. I mean, he's a foreign policy wonk in the Senate there. He chaired both in the House and when he came to the Senate, both Foreign Relations Committee, he did chair both of them. And one of the things that he highlighted, which was a fact, was what we suffered over the last 6 years. Because we are foreign policy towards the UN or towards everything West was America. Right, President Weah even said it in his State of the Nation address. One of his State of the Nation address. Tom, you remember when he said, "If you America enemy, you our enemy." Right? I mean, he was very, very, very vocal and bold in his government stance. The question, though, is what did he benefit? Did he really benefit? Did the country really benefit from that stance?
Sanctions, no MCC
No
compact.
sanctions, no MCC. So there's so I think when you listen to what Sarah was doing today, right? I think it's almost like she's learning. I mean, she was trying to seek from the pages of history to say, we listen, America's our traditional ally. That's never gonna change, right? Whoever's president of Liberia it's in their interest to have excellent relationships with Washington.
Yeah.
But maybe we need to go back to the Sirleaf years. Maybe we need to go back to the way President Sirleaf conducted her foreign policy when it came to both to both East and West. Kind of because President Sirleaf kind of took the Totman route, right? Where, the U.S. is our traditional ally. We do what they want, but also we extend that hand of friendship to the Chinese. You heard him earlier when he stated clearly that because we voted to condemn China's human rights record at the United Nations, we lost the overhead bridge.
Yep.
We lost the road that was supposed to connect.
Consequences to these things.
Yeah, we lost the road that was supposed to connect 12th Street to, there was a road. It was a whole big thing. They got all the things done, the rendition. In fact, they have paid the people that overhead bridge were being to the ministerial complex. They have paid the people off everything.
Oh, yeah.
But the Chinese went cold on it. Now, the question though, guys, is, so somebody would say, okay, well, we voted in favor of America because America wanted us to vote on that. They wanted us to condemn China. So could they have maybe provided us the money to do our bridge? Since China didn't do it, So that's kind of like the catch-22 situation countries like Liberia find itself in, right? And that's why some of these other leaders tend to, like Tomalin said, to kind of know how to leverage it. And I think that is going to be one of the most challenging things of the boycott administration. How to because it gets worse. They already did the first blunder when they seated Linda Thomas Greenfield and the Chinese communist leader next to each other on the stage of the inauguration, which was an odd scene. You could see Linda Thomas Greenfield and I want to be
uncomfortable.
Yeah. But I thought it was.
Let me ask you something real quick. Remember one time, Nikki Haley, as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, I don't know what the vote was, but she got up and she said they were taking names. Remember, I think the people voted against the U.S. on some resolution, and then Nikki Haley made a statement and said, "Okay, we're taking."
I remember that.
Remember that, Doc? She said,
we're taking notes. Yeah.
And Liberia was called out. I think it was Togo and another country in West Africa that voted, and the rights voted again, and they said they were going to face the consequences of that.
And that was Donald Trump foreign policy that time. Donald Trump won't joke. He tell you straight, you vote for me, I'll deal with you.
Yeah.
Oh, let me say this before I actually forget. That is so important you mentioned Donald Trump because more than likely he may get elected in America. But let me say this. I think there was a question about visas. Someone asked a question that other countries can get 5-year visa or so.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember now, Donald Trump had a policy that said people who are overstaying their visas in the U.S., and he listed several countries, and Liberia was one of those countries.
Liberia listed,
yeah. There was Liberia, Sierra Leone, and he passed some executive order and nailed them as to why we couldn't, get a visa and stuff. So these things are kind of touchy. And this lady said one thing that she didn't have an answer to something, and because the question was being phrased to her, she said, "Well, I didn't really have an answer to that, but the way how you're phrasing it, I would think about it."
Oh, and incorporate it in my plan.
Exactly. Yeah. My man, you can find out one day in the school books.
Yeah.
No, but I think she was well prepared. She knew her stuff, and she didn't speak like somebody who was stranger when it comes to foreign services. I mean, she spoke as if she had control of every aspect internationally, and you name it. Look, she knew it. She knew about the sub-region, the importance of bringing back the Mana River Union and all of that, and gaining and Ivory Coast, the development that Ivory Coast had made, what Liberia can learn from Ivory Coast. I think she was just excellent, man. She was excellent.
My only fear is that, look, like our system of governance, I'll be honest with you, is very corrupt. So when you're trying to do the best for your country, sometimes it depends on whether you have the support. And I pray the president will give her the support and the legislature get the support that she needs to do her best. Because in the system, even the passport issue, I heard one of the guys, what he named, he got a security firm in Liberia, man. What
Oh,
he name?
Cyrus, Momo Cyrus.
Cyrus. He said when he was at controlling the border one time, he arrested over 200 persons with our diplomatic passport. And and that one of the issues. And then the minute she tried to do these reforms, she will meet come across resistance. People will start resisting her, fighting her, and then I said she needed support because I mean, you guys, we met Minister Kamenya. He told us the challenges he was facing when he was at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And, and to his credit, one of the good things, Madam Beslo, Madam Yanti, if she's confirmed, she'll be walking into a brand new modern foreign ministry. Look, we did a tour of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I mean, in and out, and they study in the American governments. They are renovating our foreign ministry, making it first class. I mean, she moving into she'll get Cameron credit because he did a good job for the foreign ministry. What she inheriting, a completely brand new building, the whole building in and out. The four of us, we took a tour of that building. We spent one hour doing a tour of that building. It's been renovated. I mean, they have the lift, everything modernized. So all credit to Kamenya, not even government Liberian budget though. He negotiated for these funds from the Saudi and the Moroccan government. So and that'll be a good thing. And then he also received brand new 14 SUVs for the foreign ministry that he turned over to the new government. That was good too. So she's inheriting a ministry where she's going into a brand new Ministry of Foreign Affairs and have cars for people. So that'll be
and I agree with you, Tomalin. I agree with you 100%. I think Kimaya did extremely well when it came to and one of the challenges I think the whole CDC government had was information dissemination, right? Not getting the right information out there. I remember when we told the ministry, it was one of the things that we talked about with him, and we said, but why the country don't know this? Why people don't know what you guys have done here? Because like you said, it is state of the art. They have done well. They've brought in all these. I mean, it's because guess what? It's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That is the first line of defense. People go there. That building hosted the executive mansion for 12 years, practically, until President Sirleaf left. Well, not even 12, more than 12 years, because President Weah worked there also for I think 2 years before he finally moved to the executive mansion. So I think they did extremely well. I think Kimaya and his team, and Mrs. Sawyer, we got Dr. Minister Sawyer, former Minister Sawyer too. She headed the thing. So like you rightly said, she has some foundation to lay on. And one of the other things that I will say though, when she talked about guys, it's very important when she talked about the reform, right? Some of the reforms in the foreign sector, the diplomatic sector. Those are things that has already started, because I remember that was one of the things that we were briefed on the issue, because if you notice, people started complaining, they're moving this person from this place, they're moving that person from anything. And one of the things Kimaya talked about, he said that there's a time frame you can serve in a particular place, but because it's almost like they dropped the ball on it, right? And so people were at different posts for 10, 15 years. And those host countries will actually have a problem with that thing. You can't keep a foreign diplomat in a post for more than I think 3 or 4 years because you have to move around. It's all rotational. So some of those work has already started. And knowing Sarah, knowing what she brings to the table, I think she would just ultimately build on it. And like you said, Larry, I think we have. Listen, I think we got a good one here, and I think President Boakai, kudos to him on seeing, having the vision. But like Tomalin said, it's going to be important for her to have that political support and political will. I do know she will be a well-traveled foreign minister, because I don't think Joe Boakai is going to be a president who's going to be traveling all over the place, right? So she will be out there visible. And if there's anything we will want, is a face like that, out there who knows how to hold her own. And so I think she has a strong foundation to build on.
And Tomalin spoke to the issue of corruption, and I think during her deliberation, she used an example, her experience with corruption and how it, to some extent, attempted to hinder the possibility of funds being provided. And I think in that regards, and this is part of the reason why when people discuss her, some of us emphasize on the experience. We emphasize on why it was important because we did due diligence. We read her profile, okay, and we inquired about this woman, and we were only looking at one little tiny aspect of it and not taking into consideration the extra that comes with everything else that she was talking about. So during her deliberation today, she made it clear. So I don't think the issue of corruption, yes, while it is true that corruption is a major part of Liberia's problem, I think that she will be able to hopefully navigate her way through it and hit the home run with this whole issue of corruption, and she will deliver for Liberia. I never one day doubted her when it comes to what she could do, because again the profile spoke for itself and her experience. Again, here we are celebrating now that we heard what she had to say. I think everyone here is celebrating today that the decision made by President Borkai again, and the fact that she's willing to serve. One thing here that I must applaud her for is the fact that she spoke from a very patriotic level. She said, I am not coming here. Something I want to emphasize on, I'm not coming here because of the money. I'm coming here to serve. And that is something that is lacking. People who understand service and who actually understand that patriotism is not about self-interest, but it's all in the interest of the nation. And that is what she's more geared towards.
And one thing that she did talk about, I know we got other things to move to. One thing that she did talk about was, Liberians, we are very quick to characterize people in a negative way. People will talk when I fired, or she got fired from the United Nations, and she this and that. But she talked about, she was very clear today that I'm a cancer survivor, and she really wanted to come back. And I think there was a question that Senator Saad Joseph asked her regarding the Liberian student in Cyprus and some of the problems they are faced with and the challenges. And then she talked about, look, my daughter went to school in Cyprus, and I know what I was dealing with as a mother. And I know our students, lingering around and now coming in. There's a lot that she can do to help those students, not even from going to jail because of paper or different reasons, But how can Liberian go? I think she will make and meet because she's a former UN diplomat. She know what it is. She know what it entails. Dealing with foreign government on different issues and things like that. I think she will. I think so. What we need to understand is, let us not be gullible. Sometimes when people say something about others, then the internet just spread and we just form a decision and things like that. It was a great point that Martin brought. Oh yeah, we got to check her credentials. Fine, that was fine. But the way people took it, you can't be confirmed, and it became negative stuff. But listening to what she said, the school name was changed. You can't hold her responsible. I went to a community college in Cleveland, Georgia. When I went there, it was called True McConnell College. But a few years later, they grew, and now it's called True McConnell University. Okay, that's where I got my associate degree. So will you say, those kind of simple things, we don't tend to do our due diligence. But she talked about school, and she said it was among list of schools that UNICEF provided. So you could go into that list. UNICEF gave you the information. You can pick from that list and go to the school. I think, today, what I like is how she defended herself, how she presented herself. She didn't come to that table as a stranger. She came as somebody with authority. And you could hear from her language, what she spoke and what she said, how she engaged the issue in every way. And the senator did a great job. I give the kudos to the senator because they asked some tough questions. They asked some very challenging questions as well. This is the first time I've seen our senator was really there to scrutinize a nominee, ask them different questions, So I hope that can be across the board to all the nominees. They can be fully involved and really take part in these kind of meeting when they meet with these folks. I hope the senator will do that, because today I can see how vigorous was, how they really went from every aspect asking these questions. I think it's important, it's healthy for the country, and every Liberian needs to see them in that move. For all the nominees, they need to engage them like that.
Yeah, like I said, look, I'm confident she'll be confirmed. She held her turf. She did an excellent job today at her confirmation hearing. Those who never believe in her prior to her going for the hearing, I'm sure they got convinced today. Her eloquence, her level of intelligence, and the way she answered her questions, and her preparedness for the job. So, no doubt, and I believe confidently that she will be confirmed, and she'll be our next foreign minister and dean of the cabinet. So, we look forward to her confirmation. By tomorrow, we hear that she'll be confirmed. But let's turn quickly to this to the boycott government. You all know what's been happening in Walhalla.
I want to touch a little bit on that.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Because I was seeing it back. One of the, I think you guys touched on it, that what was she meeting? One thing I would say, when we went to Liberia, we actually, visited different ministry, talked to different ministers, former ministers, and we went to the foreign ministry, and we saw a lot of good thing. Construction were going on, changing the place and all that stuff. So we actually spent at least more than 5 hours in our building, toward the building, went around. We have briefing on issue, how the funding coming in. So Minister Kimia was very thorough in explaining to us. So Madam and Sarah Yanti going to meet a old building into a new building. It's a very new building now. Everything in there, we saw it there. Well, matter of fact, I was taking the picture, and I told my guys, I say, I'm taking the picture because just in case if people say that's not true, I have all the pictures in my phone before and after, so I have them on my phone. So, and we took a lot of pictures. We saw the workers. They took us around and everything. So it's one of the legacy of the past government, and the great job that Mr. Kimia did in that place. So she's gonna be meeting a very, very good and brand new ministry. So let me touch on this other thing, and Sarah Beslow confirmation. One of the era that I took from there, and I hope Liberians should listen. They asked her the question, or advice to the president about folks who on sanction. And if she advised the president to go ahead and prosecute them, and she answered that she would advise the president to ask for the evidence. To ask for the evidence. A lot of people are gonna be around, oh, just prosecute. She said, I will advise the president to ask for evidence. That's the Liberia you want. That's what you need. Not a kind of a society because they say Larry that this, we just take it. No, we don't need that. So I was impressed with her answer, and the reason I was impressed with her answer because it's stuff that some of us been saying for long. You cannot say something without a due process. And she said, "Look, I will advise the president to ask for the evidence." And the reason number one, a lot of people say, "Oh, they gave Joe, we have the evidence," and no, that's not true. Nothing there. Nothing. So she said, I will ask them for the evidence. If it were that, she would answer differently, because they did all. Remember, they did a turnover note with different places. So if it's that, they will say we have it. But she said, no, let ask. And again, lastly, I don't think we need if folks like Martin Colley in our society. We don't. Because he's not authentic, he's not genuine, he lies. How I know that? Because I know he did the same thing to me and lied. And lied. You wake up in the morning. You take a train. You have your 5-year-old, your 7-year-old. You leave them to a babysitter for babysitter to put them in school bus. Get on that train to DC, and somebody come and tell you you can go to that school. La la. That's what he did to me. While I taking my 5 and 7-year-old in the morning, leaving them to babysit total strangers, and I had to get on train and take the red line, you know, and do that every day. Then he go, and people believe it. We don't need folks like that. We don't need that. I agree. We need folks who will check on people for a degree, for a certificate. I agree, but not Martin Colley who lies. We don't need that. So I'll rest here for now, Mr. Moderator. We don't need him.
Chris, welcome, Chris.
Thank you, Tomalin.
Yeah, but you want to weigh in before we move on to the next to the next stuff?
Yeah, I would like to say thank you for having me, and also happy Black History Month to the African and the African Americans. And I thought we are going to come here today to see everybody in the African shirts, but you guys are still dressed in European form. We have to learn to celebrate our Black history. And I would like to encourage to like bring people out there, do some activities in your communities, and try to show off your Black history, especially for Liberia, because most of the people don't know our country, they don't know, our history, they don't know our culture. We need to show it off. I was opportune to go to a place to make gravy a few years ago for Black History money. I would pay like $1,200 to make the gravy and also explain about Liberian history. Just in like an hour, 30 minutes, I bring that money. So you try to show off our country, show exhibit our
gravy. You cook gravy?
I cook gravy while I was telling you the people about African history. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
the Liberian history actually. Yeah, and they learn how to cook the gravy and they enjoy the food. They eat it right on the spot. I was showing them everything, how you fry the chicken and you make the onions and everything. And, I made money doing that. So I just encouraging our people to go out there, do something in your community for Black History Month. Wear your African attire. I usually wear my African attire to work, but I work from home now. So that's why I usually wear my African attire. And then when I go, I started doing it. The Black Americans at my job, they started wearing the African attire as well. So, do something, show off Liberia. So much of that. I don't feel very good today. I just came on because I wanted to really speak on this particular topic. I was listening to you guys. I heard some, people talking and like they were throwing some shit. So I'm the only person that had something else to say concerning this confirmation. So I said, you know what, I have to come in and speak on that. I was very, very impressed with the order a little bit into this confirmation. And I wasn't so bought on Sarah Yanti's response to the Senate. I think Kev had just spoken on the way she answered the yes and no question, because all the question was like very, very just an elementary kind of question to ask anybody that they would be able to respond to them. And our people are quickly bored because when people speak, very leveled English actually, that they're very outspoken and they are very eloquent. Let me say that. And then we get caught up with that and we're not listening deeply to what have been asked and what have been said. I have no problem with the lady and I wish her the best because I know she's going to be confirmed. You could tell from the answers within the questions within the Senate today that they already resolved to confirm her. This is just all a charade right now with the question and answer. But we know that come tomorrow, they will confirm her because, in fact, there's a newspaper that came out and the president already said that he was not going to withdraw the nominee. And the president of Liberia heals everything. We saw it from We Are Government. Once the president approves you, there is nothing much to be said. So he already said that he will not withdraw that nomination, and he trusts the woman's ability to lead that ministry. And so we know that it's already said and done, and whatsoever they did in the back is done. Martin Cuddy has a lot of enemies because Liberians like check and balance. They don't like it at all. And our society has become gullible to these kind of things. And what we are seeing to our children today is that education doesn't matter. You know, you can have the experience like me. I work with the government or the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for 11 years. So if I go to Liberia now, although I have a college degree, if I go to Liberia now and they put me in that position, once I have that government Commonwealth of Pennsylvania government job, and I have the experience that not even level to the kind of position that they're giving me, they might probably take me to serve in that position. So I think that is wrong. And the reason why I say that Sarah Yanti, she has very huge experience when it comes to working in other nations with United Nations. But most of her experiences I listen to, I think they should have nominated her for gender ministry. That's the kind of relevant experience she has. I don't think any of the experience she has to do with anything when it comes to foreign policy. And she could not even give a straight answer to some of the senators' a question. And I trust her expertise in advocacy, but I don't trust when it comes to foreign policy. And this is and that's some of the things I had with her. But one of the things that really struck with me, because you can have all these experiences, maybe you can go on the job and maybe you can learn it. You got some smart people. I think she proved to be one of them. She went to the United Nations. I don't know how she got through, but she did. Now, getting through the United Nations from Africa is easier than when she come to America, she wouldn't have gotten that job. Plain cut blank, period. But anyway, one of the questions that struck me the most was the question from Senator Amara Kone. He said that, did you have time to look at the culture and the politics of the institution? What do you know about the culture of the ministry? And then she started to talk about, she could not speak about the works. She could not speak about it right now until she gets within the ministry. So you want to tell me when you call to a place for hiring, you don't know the criteria of the job before you get there for your interview? It concerns me a whole lot. Because by now, with all the rigmarole all over Liberia concerning this confirmation hearing, you would think that this lady would have done her due diligence to go and actually look into the culture of the ministry and everything else. But she could not even answer that question when she get there. She said that when I get there, within the ministry, I will start to work with the people. So you are going to, on an entry level, you're going to work, you're going to learn on the job. So I was not intrigued at all. And I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but it's just the truth. And people, everybody praising, oh, yeah, she spoke well. Yes, she's a very good, eloquent speaker. But she spoke well to questions that were not even ready. I mean, I expected the senators then to ask this woman very good questions concerning Liberia in full. I wanted her to actually get answers that she would be, what she would do, how. That's the one she couldn't answer. And look at the ABC question that was asked to her. And Keff just said something about that. Will you seek information or will you act after the information is given to you? My sis, Grace, son, Bashton Goa can answer that question just like that. Right in that Senate and gave them even more answers that my son will be able to even go further in answering that question. Not to just say, well, I will wait for the documentation to come. No, you will wait for the documentation to come. You will learn the documentation. What will you do after that? So, I was not impressed. But, I know it's the body politics of the Liberian body politics in the ecosystems. One of the ministers told me that, yeah, you don't understand the body politics of Liberia ecosystem. So I understand that. So, and that's why I came to just say that I wish President Yanti the best. I know she's going to be confirmed tomorrow. It's written all over their faces. I have no problem with Martin Cody, although he did some things that Keff was saying. He came after him and his information was wrong. But at least Keff was able to come here and defend his information that he put out there. The senators never asked her concerning her credentials and why the news all day that why she says some things on the credential that's not true. We got yet to know that. We hope they will answer tomorrow. Academic credential is integrity issue. If you cannot tell us why you put certain things on your credential that were not supposed to be on there, then we have a problem with that. Then it means that you lied to the Senate and you lied on the oath. And that's why I came to just say that's my portion of the whole thing. But I wish her the best guy, unless she's going to be confirmed. Let her go out there and make like work pride. It's always, you can learn on the job. So she can go and learn the job for another, maybe because Joseph Parker will be there for 6 years. Let's see if she fast to learn in the first 3 years, then she can deliver in the next 3 years. Who knows? But this is my stance on it.
Well, this is closing argument. Nobody view a sanction or censor, so everybody's free to, so Grace, you are free. Nobody will sanction your view, But I tell you, in Liberia, the president controls wherever the foreign policy. I think she addressed that question today, but the foreign policy of Liberia, it depends what the president wants. She works on his will and pleasure. So wherever President Bouaka wants, right now President Bouaka is seeking. Right now he's in December, wishing to get that compact, that $500 million compact for Liberia to get it. And then also that state visit to Washington D.C. to be that state visit. All these things he's seeking for, and he pushing. If she were to make it happen for him, that's why he will love it to see happen. Liberia to get that compact and and so forth. And also he make a state visit to Washington D.C. And mind you, he making his first visit to the United Nations General Assembly in September. He'll be addressing the assembly. She will be by his side. And then he has an ECOWAS meeting coming up, African Union meeting coming up. So he got some foreign trips coming up. I'm sure she'll be out of the country next week. We'll fly out of the country to represent Liberia. But again, as I said, I think she will do a good job. I think she's prepared for that job. She's ready for it. And I think we'll give her the chance. We'll pray for her success and so forth. But we live on Hot FM 107.9 and True FM 96.9. Also in BAM, Saclapie, and also across the country and YouTube too. We are live. The closing arguments, we're live. But Robert, you want to weigh in before we jump into the other topics about the appointments, the president's appointments?
Yeah, good to be on. Great to see you guys. Hope we all had a great weekend. But I did not listen to the full confirmation. I think I got the end of it. And I think for the past few days, we've been talking about the Senate doing its due diligence and asking the tough questions. Look, you and I can sit here all day and question Ms. Yanti's integrity and what is on her resume, what should have been on it, and what is true, what is not true. At the end of the day, the buck stops with the Senate. We have to, and I've consistently said over and over that Tomalin, we put so much focus on who we elect as president, and not much focus on the quality that we have as representatives in both the House and the Senate. And as much as you need a leader who is experienced, who is wise, and who understands, who has a vision, and who understands all of the above qualities, right? You also need men and women who have massive experience, men and women that are educated, and education is important, by the way, and people who understands their core responsibilities, and people who knows how to ask the questions and the purpose for which the question has been asked, and what they intend to get out of the nominee. Unfortunately, today I did not hear not a single question that like Grace said. I softball questions like I heard Senator Sir Joseph talked about the Liberian students in Cyprus, for instance. I mean, those are things that the House can address and could have addressed in the last administration. And what her intents to do that. She had asked questions about voting rights, and who from what instructions she's taking. We know she works at the will and pleasure of the president. I mean, so those were not serious-minded questions, and I did not see a very interesting conversation between the two. Her responses were very, very short. She kept saying, I don't have much information on this matter, and I need to talk to the people involved to get some information. And I think at the end, Senator Darius Dillon, the chairman, asked her to speak on her academic, the questions around her academics, and she mentioned that she did not go to a global school, and that the school that she went to had changed names and things like that. Look, to be honest with you, if we are disappointed in the answers given today, we should be equally disappointed in the questions. I think the answers largely reflect the questions asked. And the truth of the matter is, the questions asked were softball, were elementary questions. I did not see men in the Senate that were serious about getting the best information out of this woman and ensuring Liberians that they've done their due diligence to confirm giving the information they've been given. But look, let me end on this note. I do think that she should be given the opportunity. I do think that I don't care much about her eloquency. Anyone can speak good language. But I think that when you looked at her resume, I think that she comes with a lot on the table. That there are relevant questions about whether or not she understands the terrain, which the question came from Senator Amara Cornyn. But look, integrity issue matters. But none of us yet, Grace, Lofa, Keff, none of us yet have the responsibility to question that integrity issue and get her to defend that integrity issue more so than those who asked her today. They failed to do that. But integrity issue does not raise question about one's ability. And so the question is, if our Senate failed to ask her and give her the opportunity to defend her integrity and the issues surrounding her resume, do we think that she has the ability to serve as an effective foreign minister? That question may not be answered 100%, but I think out of 80%, I think she should be effective.
Well, again, day 14 of President's boycott the presidency, and with he's still forming his government, but we'll give people a chance to weigh in on this issue before we move on. We still got 3 ministries to be filled.
Yeah.
Mines and energy, political education and labor. And we're still trying to ask the question for where's McDonald Cooper, Mo Ali, Stephen Johnson, Chairman Luther Tapem, my sister Mepe Gundo, Robert Bade. Well, all these great rescue members. What happened with President Boyka? PYJ, he said he held back his sermon yesterday because people advised him. He gave him the president chance and so forth. But look, let's weigh in before we move on to discuss about the president's appointment.
Thank you. Let me say a wonderful good evening to the Congress. And
I said, look, Sylvester, just one question though. Why is Andrew so mad? Why is he cussing me, man? Why is he insulting me? What did I do? Andrew something. I don't know.
Who Andrew? Who Andrew?
No, he's on the comment section. Guys, I look stupid right now. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, bro. That's just unfortunate, my brother. Sometimes
No.
I think he should be reprimanded.
Okay, guys.
You want to be reprimanded,
guys. You just give relevant to that person.
Yeah. No, but
I think
people
it's not relevant. It's not relevant because you can disagree without the file.
Exactly.
That's the point.
Yeah, but you will get that. You will get that, my brother.
No, Keff, you can't be somebody insulting people like that.
Yeah,
But that's what he wants. He wants you to recognize him.
But sometimes, you recognize him and shame him. Right?
Yes.
And shame him. And that's part of the issue, okay? Because some of the guys, it's quite unfortunate. You don't just look at your colleague and just insult them. Just agree with them. and put forth your weight of disagreement, not to come and rain invective on the
Then
person.
you
But anyway,
you
sometimes
can't be
not
my
always.
shoes. If you're being my shoes, you're black. I've seen insult every day here. You will not be my
We
shoes.
know. Anyway,
Go ahead.
but let me say a wonderful good evening to the comrades on the platform and my fellow panelists and the wonderful resident listeners. And I listened today as a student of politics and international relations. I was very key today follow her religiously, and there was a lot of things. There was some element of major diplomatic processes she punched out. I listened to Grace. Quite frankly, I do respectfully respect your view, but I disagree with you in a lot of areas. She touched a lot of very cardinal issue when it relates to our foreign policy prescription. Yeah. Now, Article 57 of the Liberian Constitution says that the president is the chief foreign policy architect. When the foreign minister goes for confirmation hearing, she will have to, or he or she will have to confront to that of the president's vision. There won't be. No, you have to be very mindful of that. The Constitution is clear. It is the president's prerogative to designate the foreign policy process by a country. So she was very mindful how she's going to walk in chalk line of her vision that will allow without the president. It had to be in pursuant of the president's thought process versus the constitution of the country. Now, some of the questions that came up, I was very key in following the point coming from Senator James Banney of Meriden County. He was very strategic today, and he pushed, and that's one of the issues that have led to most of our, even former president and government having problem with our traditional or premium traditional ally, Uncle Sen. Now, this issue about Israel, he pushed her around, and she was very smart as to how she handled the question surrounding that, right? She was very clear as to some of the process about, and she was clear on the issue of saying we need to have a coexistence of two independent states, two states living side by side, and that people having freedom. I thought that response from her was very great because the White House currently is pushing Sir idea now. Now, Senator Banney also pushed the question quickly around the issue about what unfolded on the issue about relationship with China. Remember, all of the African bloc took decision the last time about the China human rights record. We were the only country, Liberia, that went against the African bloc. And when she was asked, her point is that for Africa to be strategically strong, African countries will have to unite in terms of that. Now, we face this issue about global isolationism when it comes to the issue of the African nations. They believe that we always punch them at the back. Even the recent decision to call for a ceasefire in Gaza, we were the only African country that voted against the ceasefire. And she said that was also contrary to our thought process. And again, in keeping with the foreign policy objective for our country, our major foreign policy objective is the issue of non-interference. And that is still on our what we call a national security platform also. So she was very strategic as to how she handled some of this question and the way Senator Banney pushed the question, because that is the issue of globalism. Most of our strategic projects coming from China, the Chinese post stopped to it the moment we voted against them on the human rights record. And she said she's going to bring about economic diplomacy and development diplomacy. That was very key, Grace. So she spoke about international diplomacy, economic diplomacy, and developmental diplomacy. Now, she worked with the UN. She pushed a lot of international aspects to bring peace and other things to the children of Yemen, to South Sudan and other things. There was global development that pushed that. That's development diplomacy there. Now, in diplomacy now, economic and developmental diplomacy are the premium of all diplomatic engagements. So beyond all of those different diplomatic intercourses, you have to go behind the scene and ensure that you connect and conduct the affairs of diplomacy via economic and developmental diplomacy. So she was very key on that, and she came strong. So I thought that we should give her today. She did some key thing into that. There's something in diplomacy called the element of the host country thought process. Now, you wouldn't deviate from those kind of an issue if you come in as a Minister of Foreign Affairs designate and you don't come proving that you want to come with your own thought process. No, you will have to come with the thought process of, because you don't generate foreign policy instrumental decision. The only element that generates foreign policy decision in the Republic is the President of the Republic of Liberia. You are there to implement the thought. The Foreign Minister is the chief messenger of the President. So I thought today, if I was scoring her in terms of her performance, We didn't want to go to the credential side, but I thought she was very forceful, and she come in as someone that's going to understand. Now, when it comes to the culture, quickly, the culture and politics of the foreign ministry itself, she was clear. Grace, you have to move the foreign ministry itself correctly. There's a cultural and political problem currently in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It's a very toxic area. There's a ministry before now. You have the ministers, his deputies, and some assistants. So a lot of divisions at the ministry. So she needs to move in and understand the ministry before she can speak to any other thing quickly. So I thought if I was grading her performance today in terms of a Liberian, I was very proud of our Liberian mothers. As a Liberian woman, I was proud of her. Someone that beat cancer and stayed very resilient, motivated to come and show this line, went to school, so took some time off. I thought she was great today. But we look forward to the confirmation. I believe she's going to be confirmed because I saw the language. My former boss man, the former foreign minister, he didn't even ask question. That was a clear vote. Prince Moy didn't ask much question. So the flow were a bit friendly, but yeah, there was some question that came, particularly question that came from Senator Kone, Senator James Barney, and some of the senators. That was so strategic. And Senator Prince Johnson also quickly asked a very important question today. What would you want your government to do to attract foreign investor or a friendly country, or both? Because diplomacy is both from the bilateral and the multilateral aspect. From the multilateralism and the bilateral aspect, what do we do? Bilateral is country to country. Multilateral is those big multilateral institutions. What can we do? Do we need a peaceful country, a country that is, the ambience of the security is perfect? That's the question previously asked. That's a takeaway question. And I thought the way she answered it was very great. So, I mean, moving forward, we'll look to see a foreign minister that will increase the process moving on. She entering a very brand new office from the 6th floor now. The Moroccans, via our bilateral relationship with the Moroccan government, they renovated the building very well. It's okay, it's perfect. And that's the turn over from the WIA administration to this administration. So I mean, it was okay. But I look forward to seeing our minister push a lot of things with our Chinese counterparts so they can do our Kazadi Boulevard to 2 Street Road and do the crossover bridge that was the $54 million crossover bridge that is suspended. I want to believe of the new beginning of a new relationship, the Chinese, in keeping with the one China policy, that we can keep to that and project a very wonderful and positive Liberia.
Thank you. Yeah, we just wanted to weigh in, but we already spent a lot of time on that issue. But again, like I said, I pray that President Boakai and the legislature will give Madam Mr. Madayanti all the support. I think she will be a great foreign minister. We have 2 female foreign ministers in Africa already. I think she'll be the 3rd one. So hopefully she will make a proper representation for Liberia out there. We look forward to that, support her. But guys, let's look quickly to President Boakai appointment, day 14 of his presidency. And today the president for the first time worked from the executive mansion today. He went to the executive mansion to work. He's now in the official office of the president of Liberia, the executive mansion. And as I said earlier, he still have 3 ministries to fill: lands, mines, and energy, post and telecom, and labor. And I'm getting reports that they will withdraw the. It's not official, but there are plans to withdraw the Minister of Justice designate, Councillor Kupokura. That will really upset Prince Johnson. And hearing that's coming from the advice of Alan White. The guy is into our politics, man. He's really willing, a lot of influence in the politics. The appointments that being made, he's involved. But again, who knows what's going on? But again, but we still, I know today the MPA managing director took office in his deputy, Sekou Dukla, his deputy took office today. And Minister Amin Moda from Commerce went to the highest confirmation hearing today too. He said that he will work to bring price of major commodities down. The DEA boss, Connor Kurman, A.B. Kurman said he will arrest public officials who is involved with drugs and so forth. But guys, weigh in, man. What's your thoughts about these about these appointments? And then the key thing is that we all know these guys are our friends. Let's be honest. But nobody tell me anything, but politics is interest. If I know people will say, yeah, we work for CDC at the time, but at the time, yeah, we fell off at the end of the time, but going at the end of the rope, we regroup. But again, politics is interest. But today we see people like Madara Kopois. She was very key. She on almost all the platform, making the case for President Boakai presidency. Mo Ali, you saw him. He's another strong towering figure of the Unity Party. Chairman Luther Tape, You know, Chairman Tape, he was a face of the UP. Stephen Johnson, our own man Zinzu, Political Zinzu. Mepe Gona, my own sister, she was held the track team, raising money for the movement. Robert Pade, Monsieur Pade, you saw him, man. I mean, guys, Peabody, tell me, man, what's going on? Why our guys are not considered? What's going on?
Tomalin, I don't know what's going on. We can talk, we can criticize them, but these are folks who work their butts off for the Union Party. When the grassroots, when nothing was in that camp, when people were not around, they stood the ground. I mean, you're talking about I don't know much about Mandela Cooper, but Mo Ali, Luther Tabet, Robert Monsieur Bade, Stephen Johnson, Mepe Gono. These are people who stood the ground and worked and made the ultimate sacrifice. So I don't understand at this point. Look, even if Chimatape had done something, I don't think you treat him that way, because I was informed that Chimatape had an interest at the National Port Authority, and it was the area that he wanted to go. We saw Chimatape home was burned down. Some say he had faulty transport. I think his home was burned, and even for the revolution, all what he went through. You don't put your national chairman in such a disgrace and appointing people who were not even involved, people who just endorsed your party overnight. You are giving them key position, and you have these guys who stood with you. And we had our problem, but I think these people work. When I think of God, that Robert Quade, who will go back to London and try to get additional education with the hope of coming and serving his country, and you have not even appointed Robert to any key position. Robert Quade is qualified. He got his master's. He went back for his law. In fact, he'll be graduating. You know, the Stephen Johnson, the Mo Ali, who will take the risk and do all kinds of stuff. Went through a lot for you guys. Mipek Godner, who will travel back and forth, who will give up her party, CDC, and all of that to support you. These people, they're there, and you are not even looking at them. I'm not even considering them at the moment. You go, I mean, look, that's wrong. That's wrong. Chairman Luther, you know, I know there were some rumors going around that he was involved in some stuff, but the fact is, they are Liberian. They work hard. They earn it. You cannot overlook them like that. You can't put them down like that. You can't bring people over them like that. I mean, they are young people, vibrant young people who are well educated, who can represent our country as well. You know, politics or no politics, I think they deserve some kind of seat on the table. They deserve it. And I think it's not only about, I suppose, saying all the volunteering and all of that, but man, that's not right. And I hope at the end of the day or sometime we'll hear these names and they will be given opportunity to serve in the government. Don't put them at the bottom. I mean, you need some young people sitting at the head at the table too. Not, they shouldn't go all the way to the bottom and bring in your old friends. I don't think it's fair at all, especially the chairman of the party. It's not fair.
Keff Hassan, most of your friends, they appointed them in government. I mean, you don't support it. You're not supporting the government, but all your friends are giving them a job. Why? And then I want our friends not getting a job. It's not fair, Keff. Yeah.
You see, guys, some of the opportunity that some of us, have in the end, especially a lot of people that we interview. Luther Tapper, one of the gentlemen that I interviewed more than 2-3 times, and when I asked them question about some false information about the government, and I will ask them, I say, you're doing this because you want job. You're doing this because you want to work. And they told me, no, they don't want job. They said that to me.
Yep.
I did interview Luther Tapper so many times. He said, I'm doing it for the love of country. They told us that we were bad. We were bad. And I'll always quote Maya Angelou. So JB, it's okay. You know, when somebody tells you who they are for the first time, believe them. So JB, believe him. So I don't know what the force here. He taking people going to JB house. I don't know what the force here.
The man vet.
I think
that thing can hurt.
I think Luther Tapper and them should come on the media and praise JMB for putting Chris Pitt there, because you see, I see them and Prince Johnson say he was ANC, but JMB doing the government of inclusion, right? So I think they should praise him. They're sending talks. So what I'm trying to say to you guys, the reason it's hurting them because they lie on our government. They come up with bogus stuff, and now with the empower, they get job, they get mad. Because some of us, we asked them. I spoke with Luther so many times. The tips out there. You don't want work, you don't want job, but now you want job. So JMB believes. So I don't see. And let me go to Lemo Ali. You know, one of the reasons that the folks like Sylvester Grisby, they will not allow people like Mo Ali to be close to the president, because number one, Grisby was working with communists. They all was in the CPP together, correct? And they saw the deception and the games that Mo Ali and them did to Mr. Cummings. Do you think Grisby and them so stupid to put that kind of man beside them so they can play them and start playing games? You guys gotta think. You see, anything you do live after you. You saw Mo Ali deception. You know what he did? You see, sometimes when you do something, you think you're doing it in the interest of the person, but the person watching you say, if I bring that person close to me, that person will do that. So Grisby then formed the CPP. They wanted the CPP to stand. They wanted that. But Mo Ali and them, all the guys, just watch the guys, the Patrick Hunter, them, all the guys, them, they kick it out. These are the guys, them who destroy. You think experienced man, a 75-year-old man like Grisby who been government, stupid. Sometimes you have to think, he's not going to get them close. Nowhere close to JMB. That wall is the Berlin Wall. It's sealed. They will find something for them somewhere. Maybe they will look at, watch and see. Maybe they will look at Mo Ali and saying on a foreign mission.
No, man.
Because you don't keep them. So I hear Prince Johnson saying, "Oh, Grisby went to me and all that." You think JMB don't know that? Know that. So don't come and cry for job. Oh, we were in Pupu Water, we were doing that. Mr. All due respect, Mr. Luther. Let me say this. Now, Amin Moda did all the work for you. Did all the work for years. Amin Moda was the chairman. If JMB can look at Amin Moda, they move him at that time and bring you. You know, I did a post. I said JMB betrayed this person. Your low level people, JMB will look at. JMB not even watching you. So for me, if they're really serious for the party, they should go and get the party. You see, our chairman who brought us to power, and Mr. McGill, who make him a Minister of State. Our deputy chairman, who was Molu, he gave him he had job, but he refused. He said he wanted to be the chairman of the party. So if you think Rispa and them taking your job or taking your party, go get your party. Go and get your party. Stand up for your party. Stand up for your party. Go and get your party. But you're the same person that expelled Madam Helen. Everything those guys came with was just a bunch of lies. And now you're seeing it. You see how they can't hold? Because they never had the same mentality, the same idea. And experienced men like Jambi, the experienced man like Jambi, Jambi knew they were lying. He's not going to bring them. So he forming a government. He get like somebody said, he bringing some of and our friends them and putting them there. So that's cool. But if they want their party, go and get your party. Go there, stand up, be strong, get your party. But they if you feel that JMB is very deceptive, it's up to you. But you're not going close to there. You're saying one job. You're told us that you're saying one job. So we believe you. That's my point. That's all I can say. We believe them.
Lofa, out of 15 ministers appointed, I think you got Lofa already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from Lofa.
And I Lofa going to do it.
JMB said you have ministers from every country, but so far I think all gone because you already got only Lofa, Bomi, Basa, Nima, Sano, and Kima. So with 3 more remaining, I know we got. I don't know what happened, but so far.
Great. I'm glad that you noticed that. And it's a good thing that you noticed that most of the ministers are coming from Lofa. That's good. I just hope that you can just retrospect on what happened in the last government. I don't want to dive into that part of it. I want to speak to this issue of rewarding people because they were on the campaign trail, rewarding people because they chanted the battle cries, rewarding people because they sat on social media platform. I heard you list out a lot of people who you claim, okay, and you guys will say they worked hard. Look, Honorable Boykai is not an ordinary person, okay? This man came with wisdom and several years of government experience, understanding that at this point, at this juncture in Liberia history, we need technocrats. We're not looking for those who are singing battle cries. We are not looking for people who are simply seeking sympathy. Okay? No, your close proximity is not what Honorable Boyka is looking at. He's looking at competence, education, experience to consider people. Yes, I'm not saying those guys should be kicked out of the entire process. Maybe somewhere down the line, they will be put in places where they can learn and acquire the needed experience. That's what. Look, if you will start naming people, I hate to say this, and let me apologize to my sister Grace here before I mention his name, and all of the other women on here who are not, fans of this individual way of doing things. All right, but because of what you guys started to do, I would mention him. Okay, Henry Costa. When I mentioned that description was not to Henry Costa now, but I'll mention the individual later. But let me give credit to Henry Costa. This is a young man who took the United Party from literally dead and brought them up. This man, in the process, lost thousands of dollars in contracts. Today, Henry Costa don't even have access to Honorable Boykai. After everything Henry Costa did, and you know what? I heard you all list people who should be considered. I didn't hear you mention Henry Costa, but you can admit that this young man sacrificed. It was on the shoulder of Henry Costa that the United Party came back to life. It was on the shoulder of Henry Costa that the CPP literally split apart. Through his instrumentality, Liberians got what they asked for today. So when I hear you mention other people and don't mention Henry Costa, then I wonder, where are we heading? Forget Henry Costa. And again, let me apologize to my sister Grace and all of the women on here. PK, he also supported Honorable Boykai. He provided financial support. Should he also be given job? Because he financially supported him. He actually made people to go out there and campaign for him and several other things. Look, we are not here in the process of just rewarding people because they chanted battle cries. Honorable Boycott understand where we find ourselves today. Liberia needs to be saved, okay? And in that process, the best thing to do is to get the best and the brightest to represent Liberia. When the time comes for them to be appreciated, I'm pretty sure Honorable Boycott will consider sending them some of the, some of these law agencies, the offices where they can work, because they were volunteering the services. They were not doing these things for job. Some of those guys left from here, they were already making over 6 figures. They're not doing this, and they did not do it for job in Liberia. Some of those guys own businesses here, hiring people and making 6 figures. They don't want Liberian jobs. What are you talking about? Leave the man alone. Let him make the decision that is in the best interest of Liberia. Let them spend their vacations in Liberia, come back here, continue to make those 6 figures, and then go back and create opportunity for other Liberians. But right now, I think what you guys are doing, you're twisting the arms of Honorable Boycott to make bad decisions, and then we will all come back here to criticize this man for making these bad decisions. I don't think Liberians should start to dwell on rewarding people for campaign messages or all of these things. Thank you.
Grace, I noticed the last few days, a lot of parables. We've seen parables all over the place. Everybody throwing parables out there. I mean, I disagree with all those who saying the people who work hard should not be given jobs. No, I disagree. Politics is interest, and so I don't. I mean, yeah, you do a lot for country, yeah, but not. I mean, the people left their jobs in America. They left there. They took advanced income tax refund money already. They're in Liberia there. So I mean, I know people already asking people for money. Somebody asked Peabody for money yesterday.
Oh,
they stranded. So I think Body helped the person. I don't know whether you help the person, but Body still help the person. So
bro, what are you laughing?
I can even make it 6 figures here. You go over there for what less than a month.
And people asking for money, man. God, Chris, let's be frank. You not forget about everything, but on a serious note, people deserve to be considered. On a serious note, you see what happened today before you come in. You see the boy at the port, the guy, because what I noticed happening, they say when they appoint you, go to your job quick, because you didn't do it smart, they will take a knee out. So the boy went quicker today. Make sure he took away MPA quick. Yeah, he all set. He the MDA boss, the MPA boss now. Moving.
Totally.
Thoughts, man.
So they say they can be dressing in there as soon as they announce in the morning you're running.
Of course. You think I'm going to for that tomorrow and say a mistake? I beg you, myself will do the same thing.
I mean, you're selling seat there, the highest bidder.
But that's a big post. You can be, it doesn't require confirmation. So you have to go and
but anybody can do anything from there and say the mistake. I beg you.
Yeah, because I saw the same thing. Amos 12. With the next morning, Amos 12 was gone.
Yeah.
So the boy put on here PRSG something already.
Yeah, you're right. You saw the guy, the deputy from Public Works.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would do his name.
Okay, great.
Man.
Speaking about parables, like Tomalin said, you can see the love on their face, but they not make it. I always remember.
Okay, love on it.
They not make it. I tell you, but
love on their face, but they didn't make it.
They not make it. But the thing is that some people got on the train late, and most of the time, you see with Liberians, as soon as they see a team is winning, everybody jump on that side. They want show that oh yeah, we for the team, because they are Liberians. We are not builders. Most of us are not. They don't know how to struggle with, to come in the team when they're not expecting anything, and see the quality of the person or the qualification of them, and that the person will move on and make it, and they will be on that team to the end. So that's the part that's suffering. And people like Mandela Cooper, she came on the train late. So most of them left in the bottom part of the team. They call it the bucket, way to the back. So the people are getting off the train now, and everybody on that train cannot be in government positions. You cannot expect our president to come and hire social people from UP party or supporters. They may have to make the country inclusive. Everybody has to be having. I mean, I know a lot of people have the education, the experience, but it's a lot of people that have it. So let the best man win. And that's where President Barker is coming from. We'll support our president when it comes to that. We are not going to sit down here and talk against our president. The man is making the best decision for the country. He's a wise, elderly man. The UP people told us to believe in his judgment.
Thank you.
So how can, excuse me, how come now you're coming to tell us that no, we shouldn't believe that? President Barker, we believe in your judgment. Make a decision for like, you know, all the people that are being hired, make sure that the people that deliver, they do not have to be UP partisan or supporter of yours. Once they can do the job, we support you. Remember now, there will be contracts at the end of the day. Some of them can get contracts, and some of them can go to be, you know, that as I said, secretary to the president's secretary, you know, they can put them in some of those positions. But right now, the key positions, Honorable Barker making the right decisions, and we support him. And that's why it is not, I would say, I wrote down here, it's not good to identify with somebody just because you want something from them. It's always good to identify, especially when it comes to like property, because we put in Liberia first. And most of them have refused to put Liberia first. And some of them who left from here and get all that Section 8 apartment there, it will be rough when you come out to get on that list. I tell you, that's like now it's thing.
So what is Section 8 apartment?
Oh, you know Section 8 apartment?
No, I asked them now.
Yeah, but somebody job they who left the apartment and left, for you to get back on that stuff, it would be very, very hard for you. And that's
you get the back of the line.
Wait for another 7 years before the poll see you. And he said it will not be easy for them to approve you. So we support that decision. We are happy that he is making the right choices for Liberia. Although politics, somebody will always say politics are interest, but most of the time when they almost half of the country, because the last election was a little split in the middle. So if half of the country supported this man, half of the country cannot be in government. It's just impossible. The man cannot hire everybody. Yeah, so we begging you, leave him alone. I won't say much on that. Right now, the hiring process I support it. I mean, he's right for doing what he has to do. The president will pick the people that he thinks is right for his office, and he is right for the country, and that's exactly what he's doing.
You know, Senator Amara Conner wrote a post just now. Wrote a post. I think you should read that post. But Professor Kennedy, that post speaks volume. But Professor Kennedy, you know, weighing. I mean, you understand this thing, Ben. You understand the governance thing, and so forth. But on a serious note, by this time, you think all the players, the main players, will be on the field now. You know, you put your best players on the field and get with the game already started. And I mean, right now, there's no turning back. I know even with Prince Johnson said about the Army yesterday, he said, I mean, I'm blaming Boyka on a serious note. I will put my countrymen in charge of the Army, the National Army. I'll be frank. The Minister of Defense is a civilian post. The Chief of Staff is the highest military uniform person in the Army. So, but so far with the appointments, I mean, right now, the appointments he have made already, I'm one of those who feel comfortable with that. I don't think he's made any major blunder so far, but I think these people are people who can deliver the country, rescue the country. Perhaps I don't know what the country will be rescued, but they rescue the country, the ministers already. But what are your thoughts, man, about all these appointments, leaving 3 ministers up already? Lands and Mines, Post and Telecom, and Labor.
Yeah, they should have this thing wrapped up, man. I mean, it's like, there's no surprise. You knew you were going to be coming to take the office. You won the election. You should have had your team already laid out. You should have had your key players then ready to hit the ground running. You're 14 days into this thing and people are still here fighting, undermining each other for jobs. Don't waste your time on this thing, man. You need to get this thing wrapped up and let's start seeing some policies to move the country forward, because you may think that time is on your side. I mean, in terms of people saying, oh, let's give the man some time. No, Liberian people have zero patience. They want to see something tangible. And the fact that you put out a 100-day agenda in order to get certain things done, if those things do not materialize, the criticism will start. And when the criticism starts, it's not going to stop. So you got to be able to get this thing wrapped up ASAP. Otherwise, I mean, people are not making the necessary contacts they need to make right now. Any ministry that hasn't been fulfilled, people are not making the contacts. The Minister of Finance should be out there doing his thing. The foreign minister should be confirmed and moving forward and making connections. So yeah, man, I mean, Tomalin, to your point, they need to have this thing wrapped up, man. It's just consuming the country right now. And they're not spending any time on the key issues. You know, I mean, he wanted to understand why prices were so high. We haven't seen any policies in terms of what they would do to address that. You know, and after the first quarter, by April, you start seeing the economic data starts to come out on this new administration. You can no longer start blaming WIA. By April, when the economic data start coming out from the central bank, then people will say, oh, wait a second, you know, is the country being rescued? You know, they'll start putting a lot of pressure on you. So I don't know. They need to wrap this thing up. They're just consuming the country way, way, way too much, man.
Robert.
Look, I gotta say this. I will start with what Grace said. The man cannot hire everybody. I agree 100%. And that's the reason why government should not be the highest employer in our country. This is the reason why we have to encourage professionals to tap into the private sector. And I've always encouraged all of my friends, young people, go back home, take something with you, own something. And so that, you know, service to country is a great thing. Don't get me wrong. But to be honest with you, I would not, and I pray that I'm not in a situation where I have to be in people's faces and be on the ground and trying to, you know, find jobs. You know what I'm saying? When people are expert in certain things, there should be people in government, in the recruitment department, who understands what you bring to the table and how significant that is to the growth and development of the country. And it should be done based on merit. So I agree 100%. But I just want to disagree with Lofa a little bit when he says that, you know, it's not about hiring people who sing battle cries. And then he says it should be people who are competent, educated, and experienced. Then we have to be careful how we generalize, because there are people who have been on the front foot, actually articulating Joseph Boakar's plan, his vision for Liberia. And I think those people were not just singing battle cries. And I think many of these people are people that we don't agree with, but we will agree that some of these guys are competent people. These guys are educated. I mean, you can't just tell me a guy like Steven Johnson is just good at singing battle cries, right? You can't tell me that. Mo Ali is not my kind of guy, but you can't tell me that Mo Ali is just good at singing battle cries, right? We can talk about his character and whether or not the president, he's the kind of character to be in close proximity to the president. But you can't look at all these guys and just say, well, they were just good at singing battle cries, right? And they bring nothing else to the table, right? A lot of these guys are educated, and a lot of these guys have been around Joseph Boakai. By the way, a lot of these guys worked in government previously. Okay, the Steven Johnson and the Mo Ali, some of these guys have served in government, maybe at junior levels, but they've served in government before, right? And so some of them come with, with substance beyond just battle cries. I think if given the opportunity and pointed to the right areas, I think that they can get the best out of them. But look, I do agree that people should be appointed based on merits. But let's face it, Joseph Boakai is strategically appointing folks in areas. Look, Lofa has about 6-7 of the appointments so far. Why is that? Have you thought about why you're not going to have ministers from all counties? I mean, this has been done strategically. I think Lofa mentioned Heron Costa. If Heron Costa helped the Unity Party got to where the Unity Party got to, and there was some misunderstanding down the line, and you and I would agree that Heron Costa still has a lot to offer our country, then I will recognize the wisdom of the president to say, like, you know what, I'm not going to make this personal. If this man has a lot to offer our country, despite what occurred between us and the misunderstanding that might have occurred between nephew and uncle, why has he not reached out to Heron Costa? Is Heron Costa not qualified too? Is Heron Costa not competent as well? Does he lack experience? And so I believe that these are political appointments, and politics is at stake here. The president have not got some folks around him, and he's consulting with these people with regards to who goes where. You talk about Mandela Cooper. If you haven't noticed, Tomalin Mandela Cooper has literally already started work. She has been in every major meeting, including the meeting along with the U.S. representatives. The next day after the inauguration, she was in that meeting. She was at the head table in that meeting. Okay, you talk about Lobo. Lobo has already started, technically been with the president at the executive mansion in these meetings, in these spaces. I don't think that the president will overlook these guys. I think that there are many positions out there. I don't think all of the top positions have been taken. And I think that these guys will get something. But in my closing, I want to agree. Appointments should not be based on support. If Lofa supported me and I want Lofa to give back to the country, the conversation between Lofa and I will be, how can we get the best out of you in your area of expertise that will in the long term benefit the country and its people? I can't just take Lofa and take him and put him somewhere because he's my God and he supported me. It should be based on merits. But we should not reduce a lot of these guys that I personally do not agree with, including my own good friend Lobo. Lobo will tell you that I do not agree with anything when it comes to Joseph Boakar's policy and his vision for the country. He is now my president, and I have to respect that. I have to cheer him on if he does right, and I have to critique him if he does wrong. But these guys were not just battle cry guys. They were guys who articulated his president's vision, who argue his competence and his readiness for president on most of the major network in our country. And I believe they did that effectively and they did that well. These are young men and women, I believe, if given an opportunity, will serve diligently. And I am convinced that they will be given an opportunity.
And by the way, there's information is that some of the people who have DMB's numbers, I think when he became president, the numbers changed. So some of them don't have access to that number. But then also too, I repost that some people, they're also immoral videos trending on social media. They are also posting hurdles of people appointment. I don't know, but this information I'm getting from the UP champ. These are some people are involved in some immoral videos. All the things are posting problem for the appointments. I don't think you hold them for that. I think, but Peewee, come in, man.
Come on, can
Peewee, you mind if I just use 30 seconds to respond to Robert saying he mentioned my name, or go ahead.
I think that's fair.
Okay, let me just do 10 seconds. Now, the people already supported Joseph Boakai, and we understand, even when Ellen was running for president, a lot of people supported her, even some of her family members sold their homes and all to put money into her campaign. That was news on the street. But these people remain friends of the president. Doesn't equivalent anything about position to Liberia. Seriously.
They'll pay.
The president cannot hire everybody that supported him, even if they were on major networks. And we just want to say that.
Go ahead, Lofa, then come in.
Okay. Robert, this is why when I address the issue of jobs, opportunity, I generalize my statement. Not everyone who sang battle cries will be rewarded. There are thousands and thousands of qualified Liberians who also supported Honorable Boakai. They may not have been on major media outlets, but they were in the trenches. They were actually putting the messages out there to the villagers and other places. The market women, all of these people are just or could be considered just as competent. And that's the reason why I use the analogy. You cannot simply satisfy everyone who chanted battle cries for you. So if you will be selective, you are here mentioning few people that you think should be considered for opportunity because they represented Honorable Boakai on major media outlet. That is not how decisions are made when it comes to government. And you agree with me that any president will look for the best. And the best idea that we are asking for is whoever serves our country as a president should look for the best and the brightest, because we want to move Liberia forward. And in this case, I would say to you, Honorable Boycott is doing the right thing. He's bringing in people who he believes in, because these very people told us that this would be a government of inclusion, like others spoke to earlier. So this is exactly what he's doing. Let them wait, like you rightfully said. And I close on this note. You mentioned the young man Lobo. You said Lobo is already working. He goes to the mansion with the president. He's probably, and I suggested this the other day. You guys said, "Oh no, he would be well fitted to serve in that capacity. That young man could be a security guard to the president. He will help him. Okay, he could either be, the guy. Yes, I don't think it will hurt him at all to walk around and hold the president's bag. That's a job. He's working for the country. Let us not take it away as though it is personal. I'm saying that this man is actually using his wisdom to put people into places. So the fact that I'm hearing that, my brother Lobo is already working, he's going with the president to places. Bravo to the young man. He probably was well placed in that position to serve as a security. I'll stop on that.
Thank you.
Why before you come here and Peewee, why you're playing Tabata? The opposition CDC have announced a retreat for April, a major comeback.
Yes.
CDC coming back very strong. They just announced today a major retreat in April in Grand Bassa County, and they have over crack committee set up. All the stewards are being called back to base to report to bases and make sure that they are part of it. And I can see that, in fact, they are even calling on those new people who are now being considered to come back under the tent. The tent is big. So, but Peewee, move on.
Yes, thank you. Let me commend the former ruling establishment for being steadfast and trying to rejuvenate the political process, and that is kind of a recalibration process that we're into. It's a good point. Quickly, I think Lofa, let me just say this quickly. I think Lobo is a professional young man. He's not a security man, so he cannot be security. That we do have the EPS. No, I'm not.
How is the security not a professional person? Come on now.
We do have the EPS that is statutory responsible. But
Peewee, 1 second. Yet he's demanding that the president hires people in areas that they get the best out. In the other tone, he's demanding by saying, well, Lobo could be a security because Lobo is a heavy set guy, right? Well, I'll let you speak and then I will talk later on.
Yeah, so that is a contradiction of what you first said. You try to perforate your own point you brought in, because it will be contrary to, he's not trained to protect the president, so he will expose the brand leader.
So in what capacity is he serving today?
It's not contradicting.
No. When he said he's around the president, when he said he's around the president, there are a lot of other technical role you can play to help the Liberian presidency, review dossier, make some policy projection, and the rest of that. Not necessarily getting into the security area. But let me quickly move to what Professor Larry was trying to say.
No, but people, you can't just move on like that. The president trusts Lobo. What we see, the president trusts Lobo to an extent. So
it says Grace. I said
it's right to move on.
They don't have any need for his position.
I said just now.
He could be a friend to the president.
Just now. Probably he's looking through some policy dossier on behalf of the president of the republic. The presidency, now that's the honest, powerful source of all principality of power in the republic. He designates elements to look through different policy prescriptions. The man is competent, he's qualified, he can be assigned to a particular function while his appointment is in the queue, right? So there's a lot of things unfolding there, but he's not
Sylvester, let me ask you a question, then you continue. You say he qualified in what era? No,
I don't think that the topic here now is to go through his specific qualification. I'm saying to you, I know he's qualified. For instance, I want to take some time. I can say, no, we want to go through individual qualification here. No, it's not to go through that.
That's what
He's qualified. There's a man that spends some time here educating himself, improving his human capacity, uplifting his thought process about different areas. So I will not go into a particular qualification area, but I believe and I know that he's qualified. That's what I'm saying. Now, Professor Kennedy was saying something very germane to this topic today about government bureaucratic process being slow walk in terms of the way the final minister need to be confronted with the foreign minister. It's very important. If I would take us back to 2018, when President Weah took office, the second round was 26 December, and then he had a very short window to get inaugurated. The president was inaugurated. And he immediately appointed his first 5 government officials. The Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Samuel Twe, the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Nathan Magee, Sam Gissy, Minister of Justice, Jefferson Koji, Senate Mayor, Bezonga Milton Finney, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Those individuals got appointed on Tuesday of the day the president got inaugurated, and that same week, Thursday, they were confirmed. The president was very strategic in that same week on Thursday, because and that's why I'm looking at what the professor was trying to talk about. To slow work government bureaucracy, you will link up the government operations. It's very important to have. I think George President, we are very strategic in announcing the process about how he appointed them on Tuesday. By Thursday, 2 days, 5 top officials were already confirmed, and they hit the ground running. Then the rest of the officials and other things, and it's paramount here. If you are deploying your foot soldiers, and there's no line of personnel shortage and the competence line, you have to first and foremost build that rapprochement with that of your forces. If they are not competent, it's not a ball game. If I plan to be president of the Republic of Liberia in the 2029 elections, I should start building a team. For instance, I would say Professor Kennedy is a very smart man in this area. I want him to be my Minister of Finance and Development Planning. I want Grace to be my General Minister. I want Robert to be my Minister of Information, of my Commissioner on Tourism, for instance. You should have that. If you don't have the personnel deployed, and this now the critical process we have in the country is pushing out a problem for the country development moving forward, right? Now, for instance, if there was any major discussion to be held, very soon we'll be talking about the spring meeting. I know probably some discussion will be coming, but there should be preparatory discussions leading to the spring meetings. How you deploy individuals to come and represent the country interests. How you then deploy people that will discuss different issues if it came to bottom line. But it is important to name most of those guys we talked about today. Those are our Congress. They are all competent. For instance, Stephen Johnson, he holds a master's degree. Mo Ali, he also holds a master's degree. And these are people that supported Ambassador Bwaka when they didn't believe that he would have been president of this time around. They are all competent. So to let them out, even if you have to appoint them to be sweeper of Ministry of this affairs, they will believe. Then the rest of the other junior Congress will believe that they are hope. It's not an issue about giving people job on the basis of support, but you giving because you want the job done and job done honestly. You need to deploy those that you repose confident and you have built certain rapprochement with that can have your deliverables done. And that's part of the issue. And I'm not surprised why most of the guys are now on air. They are nervous. And what it does is that there's potential to breed this level of disillusionment that is now creeping in the camp of the guys. They are nervous. What's going to happen? For instance, why you think the party chairman was trying to mobilize folks to go and protest? Because his thought process was he came into this town eyeing Freeport. Now you have Sekou Duplé deployed to Freeport. So where next? So different individuals trying to think on different lines, right? I believe that the current president of the Republic of Liberia, is the most experienced person ever to come to the presidency. Before then, Minister of Agriculture, FPMC Managing Director, LPRC Managing Director, 12 years Vice President, prepared to come. Then you left the Vice Presidency 6 years before the presidency. So there was a lot of thought and exhaustion issue that went to play to prepare for this. I thought by now we should have, out of the 589 presidential appointees, we got the name about 3 years. There were 58 already named. Out of 589, 58 already out. In almost 2 weeks we're talking about now. I believe that we don't slow walk the bureaucracy of our republic. What it does is serve as an impediment to major policy transformation. What we need to do now is to get to work so the president can get the cabinet push out and the cabinet move to work and begin to push our development agenda forward. I think that would be the best way to do it.
Jad, I can't take a few calls. Why Henry coming to get a few calls quickly?
Look. Let me say this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever the case is, I would just advise them to just start preparing to come home. You did the best for the country. There's always hope.
He who laughs. What
Last. He'll laugh last.
He who
Last.
laugh the best. There will be reshuffle, and that they could give you the opportunity, give the other chance to flow. I know it hurts that people coming from other places and naming. I mean, the other guy maybe he gave him money in the back, but the guy that took over the National Proletariat, they didn't even get his name at all. And he came in and just took the job from Chairman Luther. You know, so what I was thinking,
Peabody, my brother, man, a pocket was heavy for JB.
yeah, you know, so I mean, I thought all you guys hang with Jojo, your clothes, and all of that. You know, Jojo, they're your friend. I mean, you smoke cigar. I see you laughing, smoking a cigar, and Jake, the cigar, and all of y'all see it together. And for them to treat you, just you know, we used to always say when we play soccer, you just come out, watch a jersey, and hang it out. The next time, you know, it will be clean. You can go and play again, you know, but don't sweat it because some of the folks don't even have job right now. Some of the folks have told people their family die and the death is over. The next thing, they don't know what to do. I told one guy, I said, just take a leave of absence and just telling the last one you can do now is a leave of absence will up pay. You know, but apparently it's going to be tough.
Dr. Peabody, let me just send the olive branch to Mo Ali. You know, we gave Mo Ali job, right? You were working under us. Now he get job. I'll send the olive branch so he can come. And
you know, but I'm sure a name going to come up next week.
We gave Mo Ali job.
This week. It will be appointment this week. But one thing, everybody said something Peabody. It will come a time that they will need people to, like for instance, right? Take it or leave it. I mean, I don't agree with him most of the time, but one of the guys they're missing is Eugene Fagon. Fagon is a guy who can defend, who have the ability to defend and make the case for them.
Now, I'm about to go in your throat for that.
And on a serious note, when things get rough, when things are getting rough, they need somebody to come and defend them.
Say anything in the back.
I hear that.
Where you carry Fagon?
I hear LBS is somewhere they're thinking about sending him LBS and will support LBS. I don't know, but LBS, I don't think that way Fagon. I mean,
you can't be to FBI be effective government propaganda.
That's true. I know that. That's what I say. I don't know why, but
let me tell you, if you're a Liberian, you're going home to work in Liberia, be strong. The forces are many. They will fight you from all corners. The first thing to tell you, you come to take their job. They will fight you. Although he came from America, in America, I mean, they will hit you hard. Whether you're educated or not, whether you can help them learn or whether they can learn from you, they're not going to accept you like that. It's going to be a hard battle to fight. They will fight you from all corners. Amara Corner, you see today. When Amara went home the first time to serve at the executive national welcome President Saliba, I spoke with him. He said, look, when you come back to the country and you know about the policy here, you want to come here and change things, it can be a battle to fight. Just living from here and going alone, you got problem with your own brothers and sisters. They got problem with you. They hate you. They look at you funny. That's why they name you December or whatever. I mean, they got all kind of names. That those who go in March, they're waiting for taxes. They call you by all kind of names instead of embracing you and loving you and welcoming you. Or I can learn from my brother. They're not going to do that. They will fight you, whether they know the job or they know it. They'll fight you to the last. And I think that's one of the problems. To my brother who left from here facing right now.
Henry, cause I mean,
yes, that's it. 770-17-635. That's the number to call. Now you're going to be live on a closing argument. 770-17-635. It is time that we get your interaction. The public at 770-17-635. That's the number to call. And then we're going to get you live here on the closing argument.
Tomalin, I would just like to say something concerning Fagon. What we would like. Okay.
Y'all call ready?
Good evening.
How are you?
Hey, Chris.
Franco. This is a very special message I'm sending out to Dr. Peabody.
What's your name from where you join us?
This is Andrew. I call you from Broadville.
Oh, Andrew Mazagwe.
Yes, sir. I did send Dr. Peabody, myself, along with them, the former network. But what I want the closing argument to kind of do for me, I want them to offer me an airtime I'll be able to tell my story to the whole world. I want the whole world to hear my story and see how sometimes people take advantage of we the poor. I'm carrying a bunch of irons in my body, and I can't get it out because of financial reason. I've gone everywhere, and I have resolved to take another stand finally. But I want the world to hear my story. I want to leave this message with the world. Like the Peabody, I knew you were in the church here in that period. Ben, I need you guys to please take me up to let my story go. If I don't do it, what I want to do to myself, my spirit will not rest in peace. This is my number, Uncle Ben, Dr. Peabody, along with Tomalin, 0880 0881.
Let's see the number down, yeah.
Okay.
404 827.
Okay, thank you, Master Quay.
Please have me in your studio to share my word because I got limited time.
Yes.
I'm not waiting longer. I'm tired.
What's that number again?
All right, we get his number, man.
I will text it to you. He hung up the call. This guy actually he been behind me. I even wrote down people that I want to talk to him. I was home the other day and called me and then explaining a story that he having some iron in his legs and he been following you on the spoon network by then, but he lost your contact, so he's glad to get you guys. If we're not getting time to come and talk about his story, he will kill himself. And I said no. I said
yeah, I think I can remember sometime a year or so ago he made that statement. He called the show that day, but he was asking directly the Spoon Network. I can remember that was I think about a year ago, even before the election really got hot. I remember that. So
so that's it.
I found a day to bring you on and see if we can be.
So what happened? I will call him after the show, and then maybe we can find out they will bring out what he just said.
If anybody will bring it on, anybody want to help, they can help him.
Yeah, the calls are coming, so I get the calls. I told the caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Captain.
How are you?
I
live from where you join us.
I'm Melvin Pine. I joined for Obama Baby and stuff.
I'll get Melvin. I'll go ahead.
Everybody today, they talk about competent credential. These people, they take it from America. Let me ask a question. They are ever worked in government before? Let me just say something to you.
I want to never say that.
6 years ago, with the experience I have from the counties, I can tell you, I can serve as superintendent for the counties. I can even serve at a higher level because I've been in several and I understand it. You bring people that we don't have interest in the people. I will tell you, everybody that comes from America today that work in government, those that is sending money to in Liberia, now don't jump in the water with the people. Immediately they get there, that the same people they go in Lofa. Because they will do it, they know they are contractors to Liberian people, and they will not stay there. They will go by America. So for that reason, they will only take their family and through and create or amble mindset feeling to Liberian people. Let me be bold to you. Everybody was someone them over there. Everybody interested. And nobody, some people don't know Joseph Braga, but just like the single president of Mo Ali, the single in the chairman, or Ravon Bale. Now these people know that through them will survive. You lead the people over. You know how many thousand of Liberian children are left over? We go to Ataisha and sing with people. Waka reach over there, someone from the ministry, I sing in a case I'm to there. Toward them, they will not tell them, yet when they say, hey, they take money from them. But we were with 12 them every day and night. People tell that we'll put 12 them out. We'll put them out. We'll put them out. And today, 20,000 votes carry our CDC. It's starting again. Every radio station talking about competent. People came to the country and they don't have.
You see?
Okay. Thank you, sir. We get your point. It's actually sad that the people you expected to occupy position, they are not going to that position, and all these people they having their own followers that are waiting on them when they are appointed so that they will find their way through. So bringing more people, yes, that's the point he's actually making.
Wow.
Yes, bringing more people
So
from all
when
over.
Rob believe in him and bring him. No, it shouldn't be that way.
Wow.
It's on merit.
Good morning.
Tell you about job in our country, not a joke.
Good morning.
It's a serious issue, right?
So let's call. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Brother Henry.
How are you, sir?
Good morning to the loving people of Lofa and Liberia. I'm James Blama Kamara, and I joined the Closing Arguent from
Ghana'sville.
Yeah.
Go ahead, 1 minute.
I appreciate the panelists on the show. You people are providing great education to people. You understand? And this is why we take it our responsibility and to ensure that all whatsoever that we share on the platform so that we can achieve on the at least the ideas that you people are putting to us. And I appreciate the president of the Republic of Liberia for whatever decision he continues to make, because we critiqued his presidency yesterday and told our people that even if it comes to leadership, he will be able to be controlled by his inner factor. If that happens to anybody who comes to the presidency, or people say yesterday, our president was controlled. So if President Walker will come and be advised by his inner cycle or his chief of staff to say, yeah, Mr. Walker, and this is the best way we can go and agree with them. And meaning he is making a decision because the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia is clear that the president has the appointment power and has the place of power. So you can question the president's ability for the United Party to present this president to us that is somebody that cannot think. So indeed, they believe in his ability, he has the tenacity and fortitude, he has the experience, he has worked in several capacities in government. So we should be able to allow him to serve us as president of the republic. Okay. On our part to make Joseph Walker and his Liberia will go down the train. So
thank you.
As he has come as the president, let us appreciate the decision. It's not about party.
Okay. We're not keep 770-17635, 1,000 number to call. 770-17635. We'll take just 2 more, and then we'll turn back to the panelists. So let's call. Good morning.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
I'm from Ibrahim Sumo calling from IDB Trust community.
Okay, Ibrahim, 1 minute to the point.
Yes, I want to thank you for the topic on the discussion. But I want to tell President Barker, thank you. I don't know why Prince Johnson is talking around here. They just feel that they were $20 back just for the Unity Party to win. And they just feel that when Unity Party win, they give all the job. So I don't know why they are talking around here. So I want to tell President Barker, thank you for your appointment. And I believe that he will continue. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. 770-17635. We'll take just 1 more call, and then we'll go back to the panelists. Tosia.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning to all the panelists. This is Emmanuel Tosia. I joined this conversation this morning on District 6. Basically, I would like to appreciate the panelists, especially for the kind of deep insight in our political activities. For me, I'm not surprised, especially when it comes to the slow pace about the formation of the Unity Party government. You know, President Bouaka, that is the making of President Bouaka. And President Bouaka has been very slow, especially when it comes to major strategic decision-making in his political enrichment since his introduction to the Liberian political activities. He demonstrated that 2017 and 2023, he also demonstrated that. So, you know, like all of you are saying, about me, I am not feeling for those who are not or who consider themselves to be good allies. I think what is pushing on, I think the message that is being projected now is that they said to us, we that supported the CDC, that some of us that were closer, we were shouting the battle cry, we were making the cases on the various radio stations information. They were calling her Red Barrel to the. I think Waka, and they all agree, they were battle cryers. So I think their duty and their responsibility is to make the noise. Then put those their brothers and their sisters that are competent to do the job. I think they are terrified. Why not the primary? Not the primary. Just wanted to show. He just wanted to show his simplicity. And all these things are things that he yearned for yesterday, and now is happening. Now I think they should help us and join us to clap for President Baka. President Baka is doing well. The other people can say Baka not big, so the man Baka what he's doing. That makes a 40-year experience in doing excellent job. But well, we are waiting to rescue or nobody. You shouldn't take a time to do employment. Let it be aware. So January.
Okay, Maritosia, I hold you there.
Thank you.
I hold you there. Let's take this last call, please.
The last call.
Yeah, the very last one. This very last call are coming in. I don't know what's going on. 770-176-35. To this caller. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing okay, and you?
Yeah, I'm calling.
Your name again?
I'm calling from Diesel.
From Diesel, Atiswa. Go ahead, 1 minute, please.
Yeah, the problem I would not expecting nothing else on the topic because in America.
Oh. Atiswa.
My DJ brother going there, so
okay.
Yeah.
You're done, eh?
Okay, to this caller. Good morning.
Yeah. Pleasant good morning, sir.
Your name from where you join us?
I'm joining you from Pittsburgh City around the area here.
Okay. Go ahead, 1 minute, please.
Many thanks to all of the panelists and
Then go to the point.
Go straightly to the point. Are you there? Go to the point.
I have one of the issues with the network. You get me? Hello?
I'm getting you. Go ahead.
Let me progress.
Yeah.
Grace, let's wrap up, yeah. Yeah, wrap up,
yeah. Very great show today, and very interactive. I just wanted to wrap up quickly on this whole hiring process with especially with when Eugene Fagonin came up. Most time we don't understand that information dissemination is different from campaign propaganda. So when Tomalin George keep on saying, oh, the men will defend the government, I just like, what Tomalin, why you doing this to our country? The person has to actually trust the person that will sit in that position, especially Minister of Information or anybody who will be working with LBS or this or outside entity of the government. But will Eugene Fagon be able to handle that task? What will happen when he get mad with the government or somebody making mad within that, within a short period of time? What will we expect from him? So it's scary especially when somebody show themselves to be who they are. Keff Hassan said we won't believe them, and that is so true. So that's the reason why I don't think he should be part of any appointment at this point in time. And when we say things concerning George Lobo, we are not seeing anything bad when it comes to George Lobo. I think George Lobo is a very trusted young man, and he will be able to serve the president well. I'm just saying that he should be put in a position close up with the president, because President Baga have few people that he can trust, especially with everything that's been going on in Liberia and how the whole election went. He needs people around him that he can actually trust, and George Lobo will be one of them. Now his job title, I don't know it, but I think he should be working closer with the president at this point in time. Concerning Prince Johnson, although we did not touch on that topic too much, but Prince Johnson is a man who always like to incite, and then he draws back. Incite and dress back. This government should be very careful with him with coming up and saying things, and then later on he come and tell people that, oh, the president called him, they send people to his house and to talk to him. He are giving Prince Johnson too much leverage when it comes to our country. Like he has to make decision when it comes to Liberia. Although he claimed to be the father of Nima Kante, but he also has a baggage, with the whole war situation and the whole war economic crimes code that President Barker had promised the Liberian people when he was running for president. So we have to look in all of that. This man was with Charles Taylor 1 minute he made himself independent, and then he took half of the men soldiers and carried them with him during the war. And so people like that, you have to keep them just an arm length. So that's my advice to the government and to President Barker, and the people close around him. Thank you so much.
Professor Kennedy, I told the person I said you are not Boma Kamara. This time I asked you whether they would take pay for them to take their pay. This January, but you can do your closing comment. Whether they would take pay, the men in abroad, the men will know. But go ahead. They will take pay.
It's going to be challenging because if you look at the fact that Liberia hasn't been able to pay its bills in so many places around the world, you look at funds to Liberia being halted because they weren't able to pay back some loans. The president even mentioned in his annual message, we saw what happened with the World Bank, the IMF. It's going to be challenging, right? And if they don't pay the people, it will be very, very bad. It will look so bad that they would be behind the 8 ball. So they have to do it. You see, the thing when you come here as a new government, you're giving some leniency, especially in the world economy. So they should be able to tap some of those funds that have been cut off from them because, they can say, look, we're just coming in. We need to get things up and running. But here's the thing. Let me just close on this. Liberia is in the top 10 poorest countries in Africa. 176 years old, and in the top, whether you're looking at GDP per capita or you're looking at GNI per capita, gross national, you're still in the top 10 poor, no matter how you cut it. Wow. And we can say, look, we can blame the Civil War. That would be a legitimate argument, right? But Rwanda also had a genocide back in, 94? And 20 years or so after the genocide, Rwanda started to rebuild itself. 30 years later, Rwanda is doing so much better. We're still in the same position. And how did Rwanda do it? They focused on exporting some of the natural, exporting tea and coffee. They focused on, they even used foreign aid. I'm not a big fan of foreign aid, but they used foreign aid to change the way how they could help the poor people in the country. Foreign aid, all the money Liberia gets in foreign aid, you can't see anything tangible happen to the people in the rural communities. The poverty is still there. And Rwanda also used tourism. You can't say Liberia doesn't have the opportunity for tourism. But one thing Rwanda did, and I've been saying this all along, they tapped the diaspora. They set up an investment fund for the diaspora to get money back to Rwanda. Now, Paul Kagame got his human rights issues, granted. But you know what? President Boka is being there now. He knew he was going to take the executive mansion. He should have had his team already laid out. This whole thing about nominations, you already have issues paying people salaries and you're still looking to hire more people. Stop that. Get rid of some of those positions, then save yourself a ton of money. Get this ball rolling. I told you the last time, I would throw all the names that out there one shot, confuse the hell out of them, and then let's just go ahead and start running the country, But if we follow this whole thing here for another, 2 weeks or so, we'll be a month into the administration, and we still have people undermining each other for jobs. That's what they're doing. They're undermining each other, backstabbing each other, talking bad about each other, all for the sake of jobs. Well, a lot of them probably do not even have the educational and technical experience to get it done, but they just want to still be hired because why? They spoke about boycott during a campaign. But great show, Ben Tomalin. Always enjoy being here with the rest of the guests, man. Let me turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. I just want to make this point, and I think it's important that I do. The mindset of us sometimes, it's not good. And I think we've got to try to change that, especially people like us who have voices, right? I want to say that Reggie Love, I'm not sure, I think most of us who live in this country remember, he was aide to President Barack Obama. Reggie Love, before ascending to that position, was a college basketball player. guy who almost made an MBA, and he served Obama diligently and took a pay cut as an editor at a local sports station in Philly to work for President Obama at $67,000, $79,000. Reggie also held a master's degree, and today he serves as the chief sports editor for major a media company in Pennsylvania. Anita Mike Bird, she served as President Bush special aide, and also subsequently served as the senior advisor to the Secretary of State then. When we think about these positions, how condescending and demeaning we speak of these positions, I think speaks to our own character. I respect a man and a woman, though qualified, who will do anything in the interest of their families. Number one, do it honestly, do it diligently, and who will do anything in the interest of that country. I cannot forget telling this story, and I told this story to some servers that I met at one of the local entertainment spot that I did some training at. That sometimes you have to humble yourself, and sometimes you have to do what you need to do, whatever legally, so that you don't go out there stealing and hurting people for things that they've worked hard for. When the recession went low in '07, there was this guy who worked at at our hotel, a doctor. I can never forget that man. I'm not going to call his name, a Liberian man, doctor. And they were laying off folks. And you know what that man did? The man came and worked as a server for 3 months at our property. Obviously, he was qualified. And I just like the fact that he was so dedicated to his family and making sure that his family had what his family needed to have, that he did the best that he could to provide for his family. There are qualifications, there are experience, there are education, and all of us here would agree that Liberia needs technocrats. Liberia needs people who have the requisite education, who have the requisite qualification to do the job, and I will agree to that. But we must be careful how we denigrate, and how we personalize our conversation. I'm not going to call anyone name here, but I believe that there are men and women who articulated Joseph Boaga's vision, men and women who could have served and impacted Liberia under George Weah, who disagree with him, men and women who disagree with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who she gave opportunities to. These folks didn't sing battle cries. These folks were not supporting a particular candidate because they want a job. They did so because they were principled men and women. And we should respect them. We should disagree with them. We should look at that qualification. We should be patient, look at the jobs given to them, and scrutinize them based on the position given to them. Let's be very careful. Lastly, I want to say this. I think that the private sector, and I hope that this government focuses on private sector job growth. I think that the mindset, again, I mean, a gentleman just said, everyone who comes from the diaspora comes to steal and return to Liberia and return to the U.S. Just think about that mindset. So this is a challenge to diaspora Liberians. We need to change the dynamics of us just returning home for jobs and actually return home to create jobs and train Liberians. Create jobs, open businesses, train Liberians, have multiple sources of income, and then you will not be in a position where people are making fun of serious people. I know some serious people who truly wants to serve that country. It's nothing about money, because these guys don't make a lot of money. $3,000, $4,000 is nothing. But they're doing it because they want to serve that country. And I take my hat off for them. But the process and all of what has happened makes this a total joke. But let's be very careful in how we speak on people's name we don't know. Let's ask for the facts, and let's be careful how we intend or intentionally demean people's, because it could be you tomorrow and it could come back and bite you. It's always a great show. Always great to be on Closing Argument. Thank you.
Yeah, Peewee.
All right, let me close, man.
Gosh, great show tonight. And,
Okay.
you know, as we have said, you know, some of our brothers and sisters go home, not like Robert said, in the interest of the people. They go there, they get in the mood, they give them some job, and all they do is to run behind these little young children that can be their kids, that they can help. And having kids, some leave their family here, go home, having kids all over the place, big time, and they join the group in stealing money. They're not an example to the folks that are there. And we have seen that a lot. A lot of them go home and come back. They want to have two homes. They want to, you know, and they are part of the problem. And the people look to them and say, well, how are these people helping us? What are they doing to help us? You know, I know there are serious people who want to go home, who want to help, who want to do things. There are so many ways that we can help our people in Liberia. Not really the job. I go to Liberia 2-3 times a year. I'm in the village. I'm building schools. I'm building water. I'm helping children with scholarship and all this stuff. That's what I believe. That's the way I can give back to my country. Why can't others do it? You must work in this government. What example are you setting? What are the success stories that we hear of Liberians that went home and made a difference and having an impact in the lives of the folks there? How many Liberians? I'm not saying some have done it, but what are some of the success stories of Liberians that go back and work for government? They just go there because they want to get the money and be rich and build a big home and all of that. I think this has to change until we get serious. Really want to make the change in our country. I believe the Liberians there will embrace us and will welcome us the way it should be. But the ones that have gone before us have not set any example that they can look to and say, we will welcome, brother. We go there and just join the group, join the team, chilling, moving with heart on the beach. We see it on social media. Some of the brothers who went home, they're sitting there holding cigar in the hand, sitting places, drinking and doing all kinds of stuff. I'm not saying you don't have fun. That's your home. Enjoy it. But they are all over sitting, holding cigar, and everybody say, oh, the guy enjoying big boy. You got 2-3 people, poor people who you keep around you till 2 a.m. in the morning, calling them security and driver. Nobody killing you, Maruga. Nobody doing nothing to you. But you have these poor people who will take motorbike probably about 1-2 a.m. and go home and be back again 8 o'clock. Nothing. Let us be an example for the folks to see us and embrace us and welcome us the way that they should welcome us. I don't think we have set that example, and we have been part of the problem, and that's why they treat us like this. Thank you.
Huey.
Yeah, thank you. I think if we were all to basically somebody reflect on what the country is, and that's one of the things I always believe in, that we all should learn to project our country and protect the country. I'm one person, though I left government more than 2 years ago, but I still said one way or another, got some comrades. I refer to them, most of our comrades employed. Got close to 4% still basically employed back in the country. But again, we need to see this. It's not the process about where we want to see the country now. I believe that we are going to force on it. Part of this is that most of our comrades, that we believe that we all may have had different thought processes in terms of being on the other side of the political divide, but we all are comrades. And we see that's why I said to someone in a conversation this morning, I say about a year, Boaka Jariba named as Minister Proper, I will celebrate because I know Boaka Jariba is very competent. He went to Georgetown University. He's a graduate, a prior product of Georgetown University. Right, about the year, George Lobo. George Lobo is competent. He's qualified. He's a young man that taught the thought process about projecting our country forward. Those positive mindset. Stephen Johnson, Zizu, we call him from the level of the University of Liberia. He worked with the U.S. Commerce Department here. He's very competent. He came to school here for his first program before. So, I mean, we all should write it. The time of politics, as I said to folks, it's over now. We went through all the political means that came out. Now, all of our political mode will have to be readjusted or totally changed in terms of projecting our country forward. I will sit today and believe it's not about some of us. It's like going to Rival House and believing that's what we say, not that we're trying to preach for them, but if I went to Rival House, for instance, and I enter Robert front porch and saw 3 of his children looking desperately hungry, They didn't eat the whole day or 2 days. Then rather offer me a very sumptuous meal. Will I take that? No, I want to be brave too. So even if I were to be appointed today in this government, I will reject the position because most of our Congress haven't gotten those that struggle, those that were in the line of fight. So I mean, now, and I'm one person I always project. I'm a component of the process about being competent and qualified. It should be based on merit. Meritocracy is the baseline of our country moving forward. And that's why we all will seek two things in life: career pattern development and livelihood improvement. If I project my career pattern, the next thing I want to seek something to improve my livelihood. I need to adjust to intensify how I want to live. The first time before graduating from the University of Liberia, I used to live in a tiny area. But when I moved on, graduated from the University of Liberia, I sought to move and live in something, and I built my own house. So that I sit in the house that I built was close to $100,000 US dollars. I feel comfortable because I have upgraded my livelihood line. So it's important that we project the country. But I think, Mr. President, let me speak to you briefly for the few seconds that I have. I believe that you now the president for all of us, and I believe you came to project and transform the country. Look around you. Appoint those individuals you believe that can help you transform the country. We all want to play the Ito Lukuto role of the country. But here is it, Mr. President. I believe if you were to select people that you trust and that will deliver your message or your policy, we can move the country forward. So please, your next appointment, even if you appoint Stephen Johnson, Mo Ali, or George Lobo as sweeper, appoint them to the rest of the Congress. That will be the confident moving process moving on. The rest of the Congress, the junior Congress will believe that their senior Congress are now being appointed. They will feel pleased. The nervousness is too much. They are slowly getting a little bit something. I'm concerned, Mr. President. Thank you. May God bless you and save the states. Thank you, Congress.
Let me start by quoting my brother Pee Wee here. Even if you will hire them as sweepers, right? Let's be realistic to ourselves here. When we are having a general conversation about the nation Liberia, and names are mentioned specifically to make a point, it is upon all of us to do due diligence. Erect the nation.
Please give me 2 seconds, please. Just 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
That's all the time.
Yeah, just 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Before I said, even though I built a very logistical.
But guys,
these are guys that are competent and qualified. And I need the institution.
That's 3 minutes, guys.
Right? And I'm not busy. I'm not saying because they're not competent. They are competent.
No. Again, I think you misunderstood. I think you misunderstood what I'm saying here. I'm saying here, you made an analogy, or you spoke specifically of what could be done, and I'm here telling you, okay, if you will present the name of an individual to be to go under scrutiny, like Robert did, he should not take offense to the fact that we will speak to that name based on what is known of this individual. When we speak of competence, it's not mere friendship. You
know nothing about.
Robert, don't do that. Don't do that. You spoke.
You don't.
Robert,
guys, all the time, please, guys.
All right,
go
ahead. Thank you. When you spoke, that's why I sat quietly and listening. All right. When you put up the name of individuals, then those names must be put under the microscope. And that's what I spoke to it in general. But when you came back in the second round, thought to highlight your buddy, I thought again to speak specifically to that. I'm not going to get into that. I want to speak to the Prince Johnson issue. And let me say this. Prince Johnson is very toxic for our politics. All right. Prince Johnson should no longer be considered that voice in politics in Liberia. All right. Finally, Liberians back home during the election, we spoke of these things. I personally highlighted these things. I said, what we see happening today to Mr. Cummings is only the example of what will happen to a lot of us Liberians if we ever intend to go back home to serve our people. It will end up as us versus them. You listen to the caller say the people from the United States, they just want to come here and enrich themselves. At the time, people were claiming that I'm an ANC supporter and I'm a this and I'm a that. I was simply speaking to the reality. All right. What started during the election is going on now today. They're setting this blockade to say, okay, us versus them. Diaspora Liberian versus Liberian and Liberia. And we cannot and we should not find ourselves in this kind of position. There should be no reason. If you want to be, if you want to go and serve Liberia, go with the mindset that you're going to serve, and don't go out there with the intention that you're going to enrich yourself at the expense of the suffering masses. Thank you, guys. It was a great show. Great being on here. See you guys again on Wednesday.
Guys, thanks a lot, man. Just to wrap up, today we have been our ardent follower, Melissa Yap. Today would have been her 21st birthday, and we want to again say happy birthday to Melissa, to her mom, Lisa Grease, her father, Ian Yap, her aunt, Pam Belcher Taylor, Imari Gibson, her whole family. We want to say, Melissa, we miss you. You also continue to rest in peace, and we pray that God will continue to have a repose on your soul. And guys, hopefully we'll look forward to another interesting show on Wednesday. And I want to say thanks to the Hot FM and True FM, our guys there. Thank you for holding on. And also the people from Indiana, I just got a message that I should announce for them. One of the member, Julius Parker Jr., lost his son in a shooting incident. They say we should announce it for them. I want to say our condolences to them too. We pray that God will comfort the families and during this difficult time. This shooting, violence, something that we pray against. We pray and God bless everybody. But we say thanks again, guys. Let's get ready and see what happens on Wednesday. But we pray that President Boga will form the government fast, because everybody complaining now. The government, town got to move forward. It's too slow forming this government. Gotta be over. And let him just form his government, appoint the board of directors from the corporations, finish his cabinet appointments, and move on. But I don't know why it's taking them so long. But again, it's a prerogative. But we're just waiting and watching what's happening. But May 1st is 100 days in office. We'll give our critique of that day. But guys, it's been a good time with you guys, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.